Hello and welcome to D4, where I, Dustin,
And I, Devin, Codium, a 5th edition game
of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
You know, I really like mayonnaise colored dice. They're beginning to be a major part of my collection, and I mainly get to supply through the mail every month when I order from Die Hard Dice. Sadly, though, there's been a lot of mayhem in the world over the past year, so I've had to majorly cut back on dice expenditures. But with D4's amazing discount code D4May, I may be able to catch back up on my main treat yourself gift for me, my players, and my loved ones. So go over to Die Hard Dice and enter D4May for 10% off of your order at discount, and you'll have it made.
I want to slap you right now.
I need mayo
First
dice.
of all, mayo dice.
Yes.
I envisioned
What?
like mayo trapped in like resin like squares.
No, I'm gonna no. Stop.
Yes.
Stop
Yes.
talking. No.
Well, we all love the culture, the food, the alluring histories, folklore, and
mayo.
art of the Asian community, but sadly, we do not highlight them enough in our society. So in honor of Asian American and Pacific Islander Month, we are encouraging you all to reach out and support our AAPI community. This week, we are highlighting the Filipino culture-inspired RPG supplement for 5th edition, Sina Una. You can buy Sina Una over at Hit Point Press to add a world of Pacific Islander culture to your game. You can also see that world in action here on Rock Punch ATL on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on the show Tompo.
We also encourage you to check out Lucia Verspill's shop over at searsword.com/shop. That is SEER sword.com/shop to get AAPI made dice, nerdy enamel pens, candles, dice bags, and more. Make sure to pre-order the Sky Sisters pen collection from Sina Una, designed by @othermoons_art. And remember to appreciate and love the people just as much as the culture they bring into our lives by being excellent to each other and stopping Asian hate.
Now let's hear from our sponsors.
Hey, remember when we ran out of player bundles and I did a thing and then we got a lot more player bundles, which meant I had to do more things? Well, that's happening again because we're giving away another players bundle tonight from the generous donation of D&D Beyond. To remind you, the players bundle contains Player's Handbook, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything you need to be a good player, to make an excellent player. And to add all of this, since the books contain all sorts of information, I thought it might be a time to start looking back at some of the more famous items of D&D. So these next 5 are going to include what I would think be improvements upon famous Dungeons and Dragons items. And we're going to start with one I stumbled across in my adventures called the Jar of Abstract Thoughts. Now, the interesting thing about the Jar of Abstract Thoughts is that it was created by Halaster Blackcloak during an existential midlife crisis. The Jar of Abstract Nonsense carries the strange thoughts made manifest of Halaster Blackcloak that are too deranged for the ancient wizard to keep himself. The jar itself is an opaque brown that is simultaneously rusting, crying, and passive-aggressive. Reach inside and you'll pull out a small talisman containing one of 20 symbols that grant you boons. To demonstrate, Ethan Mansour, please roll a d20 for me.
Okay, I'm rolling it. Here, I've got one right here.
Nice.
10.
10. You have rolled the hobo. During your travels, you will eventually encounter a bin of infinite space shaped like an unpleasant-looking dumpster. It has infinite space inside of it and is breathable, but carries a curse that everything coming out of it carries a random smell from the random smell chart. Ethan, please roll a D100 to determine your random smell.
Okay, I got a thank you, D&D.
Roll another 10 and see if you get hobo again.
I got a 42.
42. Hold on. It smells like an alpaca farm.
What a coincidence!
Those are the worst.
I'm
So-
not surprised.
Along with this in the subclasses, I will put the Jar of Abstract Nonsense onto the D&D Beyond store. But if you would like professional items made by professional people professionally, type in hashtag Beyond or go to D&D Beyond and buy the player's bundle. Has everything you need to be a good player. Do it.
You know what you don't need to be a good player, but what really helps be an awesome player? To show up at your table with a Beetle and Grimm box. They've got a bunch of them out right now, people. They've got the Legendary Strahd, the Silver Edition, the brand new one, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. It's going to be amazing. I got my t-shirt in for doing a pre-order on it. So soft. Anyways, you can get the Silver Edition of Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden, Baldur's Gate Silver Edition, Eberron Gold Edition. You could get any of these. These are all available on the website right now. And groups are going to be getting back together. You're going to be starting to hang out now that you're all vaxxed and doing the things that we needed to do to be able to be around people again. So once you've come to terms with peopling, come to terms with peopling with gifts. And bring your table a box from Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse. That's beetleandgrimms.com. You can find them on Twitter at Beetle and Grimms, and you should follow them because they are hilarious and a delight in the community.
Hello. Let me tell you something. I'm kind of an epic person. No. I know what you're thinking. This is the sort of thing that only Ethan would say about himself because he's so self-absorbed. But no, listen. I am an epic person. So epic, in fact, that I can control the very winds around me. Okay, so maybe it would look a lot cooler if I had actual epic winds surrounding me while I'm actually controlling the winds. You can't see it, but right now the wind is crazy in here. You can ask my cat. She look at her fur. It's flying everywhere. So if you want to be able to control the winds but actually have people see them, check out Eldritch Foundry for your miniatures at your D&D table, because they just added 5 new epic bases for their actual miniatures to give you a little scene to go with your miniature. It's awesome. You can have fire, you can have a cyber shield if you're making some kind of science fiction character, or choking vines coming out of the ground, ice shards, or if you're like me and you can control wind epically, a gust of wind flying from either side of your epic character. Check it out. Why not you try out a base effect now if you win an Eldritch Foundry miniature right here in our chat by putting in hashtag Eldritch. Or if you can't wait and you want to get one right now, and we recommend you do, put in D4D&D right there when you're buying your Eldritch Foundry miniature to get 15% off your own Eldritch Foundry miniature, and make your own epic gust of wind to be as epic as I am, a real life wizard controlling the wind right now. It's blustery in here. Check it out, Eldritch Foundry.
Hi. I don't have a gimmick, and I was trying to find a way to steal one from one of them, but I just don't have it. I just don't have it this time, and I'm sorry. I feel like I'm letting everyone down, but that's okay, because you know who's not going to let everyone down? Rock Punch ATL. Okay. You should absolutely follow them on all forms of social media, which includes YouTube and Twitch, and also Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Also, you want some fun ideas for a party card game? Sick. They got a video recommending some. You want to watch some people have a ridiculous time playing Jackpox games? They got that too. You want to watch more of our episodes? That's there too. You know? You can even watch the Tampo cast go on a road trip. All of these things are available with Rock Punch ATL, making all of our dreams come true. Rock Punch ATL.
And if you like what we're doing and you want to be as fresh and as styling as me with my new haircut, feel free to go to d4dnd.com. That's where all of our beautiful merchandise is, like the lovely t-shirt you just saw and the lovely mug that you just saw. There they are again. So if you want these things, if you want to be cool, if you want to be stylish, who am I to stop you from going to d4dnd.com? It's up to you.
Finally, you know what's coming? Title Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Mehen. Dragonborn Daddy's coming. Title Champions of the Forgotten Realms. That's right, Dragonborn Daddy. You deserve Daddy Dragonborn in your game. So get this code and go unlock some loot so that you can be prepared for this week when we get Mehen. This Dragonborn Daddy is coming. And you know what Dragonborn Daddy is probably bringing? a jar full of mayo dice.
Why? Why would you ruin it? Why would you do that?
Because Dragonborn Daddy is amazing, and Dragonborn Daddy will bring us everything that we want and protect us from the bad things. Thank you, Mehen.
Bad things like mayo dice?
Hashtag Dragonborn Daddy.
I want-
Hashtag no mayo dice.
Hashtag give me mayo dice. Someone
Without-
make mayo dice.
Abolish mayo dice.
And without further mayo dice, let us immerse ourselves.
Into the Chronicles of D4.
What about
No
Miracle
mayo
Whip
dice!
Miracle Whip dice.
No.
See all the people who agree with me that mayo dice would be amazing.
That's awesome.
And we're
Foul.
back.
Mayo
Foul.
dice.
Foul.
Sans Devin, here he comes. He's
He's getting
Look at
mayo
that.
dice.
I had to get my
time.
mug.
Would you stop with the mayo dice?
Clink.
So, last time on Dazzling Dragonflies and Decanter Deals, the group was stopped by a caravan who turned out to be a traveling merchant guild of Devouts of Timora, known as the Guild of Thorns. Despite the long time it took them to acquire the hundreds of thousands of gold from the vault, they spent almost their entire gifted prize money from the Open Lord in mere minutes. Seisha was able to have her sentinel shield repaired, while the others bought a few new magically imbued trinkets, potions, and poisons. Voss even steered them towards the path of Waterdeep with a scheduled meeting with the Doom Raiders in order to help expand their underground network there.
After acquiring the items, Harold and V take a small taste of the Fey tequila they bought, which was rumored of being able to slow down time, as well as some other interesting effects. They soon learn that those effects are the ability to see into the Feywild, a haunting and enrapturing plane of otherworldly beauty and nature that overlaps the prime material plane. Upon looking into the plane, they both see the figure that has been stalking Harold through reflective surfaces ever since he sold his true name to a Fey creature for a fancy hat.
Still unable to communicate with the androgynous, shifting, Eladrin-like creature mixed with flora and insecta features, it begins to mime to Harold for him to attack it with his eldritch blade. And in the chaos, the party jumps to his aid but are unable to see what is happening as Voss tries to stop Harold from attacking something he doesn't understand or can see. The blade disappears into the Feywild itself as it is consumed and transformed by the creature before they reform new, and the blade forms differently at Harold's hip, with the new name and attunement to the wilds as Theywild's gift.
The rest of the day is long and hot, without a cloud in the sky, which slows them down, seeking respite anywhere they can find shade and take a moment to cool off the horses. At one of the stops, they find evidence of wild magic set off by the consumption of harrow dust, which makes them fear the potential influence and spread it might have over the Sword Coast, if not all of Faerun. As they continue, Voss and Orkira bond over a few conversations about life, death, necromancy, and everything in between, while Harold slyly interrogates Bilver the toy maker to see if he has any nefarious plans for the orphanage or ties to the Reforged Ring.
After an extended day of riding on the road, the party arrives well past dark outside Daggerford to the caravan grounds. There they are met by an old cordwainer and his half-elven assistant Cobbler, as well as a foul stench that wafts down the hills from the town's tannery, kept separated from the rest behind its large stone fortified walls. After saying their goodbyes and being gifted items of thanks for those they saved from Kellenvor's grasp and Jurgel's book, they join Bilver and Doran to enter beyond the gates inside the town of Daggerford.
When they enter the quiet village, already tucked away for the night, they split off from the Toymaker and his Bully Blade guard and make their way to the Lady Luck Tavern, a tavern known for welcoming in the guard and traveling adventurers. As they enter, Voss stays in the back as he takes a moment contemplating his past and how everything he is all started here in this town before placing a coin into the offering hands of Tymora, the Lady Luck herself. And that's where we pick up tonight's story.
As you enter, you walk into a very obviously closed down bar for the night. The first thing you notice is the entire northeast wall of the tap room is covered in a huge, splendid colored map of Faerun. From Kalimshan to the spine of the world, from the Moonshays to Rorin. Much like the Yawning Portal, the bar is a high-ceiling center with balcony ledges that lead to the few rooms the establishment has to offer. In the center of the tap room is a massive stone pillar bearing the weight of the ceiling that has a ladder of iron hooks up the side to climb and add to the menagerie of items covering this pillar. It is covered in battled and battered shields, personal ruins, and other adventuring mementos. An obvious homage in order to honor those fallen in defense of the township that echoes throughout all of the other walls, save for the mural.
The light from a single glass protected sconce can be seen illuminating the barstead of the tavern. Resting with her feet kicked up on a nearby table, you see a young human woman with her eyes closed. With the sound of the door closing, she startles awake and stands quickly as her chair clatters to the floor. She yawns and rubs her tired, golden hazel eyes before sweeping her cropped, curled auburn hair back behind her ears. She approaches and looks up at you all from her shorter stature with a smile that creeps up around her long, oval, yet very pretty face.
Welcome to Lady Luck Tavern. Apologies for watching the backs of my eyelids. I was looking for holes, and so far I haven't found any, so that's good.
That's good.
What brings you to Daggerford?
Adventure.
Figuring you look like the adventuring type. What can Lady Luck do for you?
We're actually hoping to find some place to stay. Do you have any vacancies?
Ooh, yeah, I only got the 2 suites left. A large enough room to accommodate, fit with 2 twin beds and a large enough couch to sleep on, a private toilet and separate bathing tub, work desk and closet. It's going to be 6 gold a room. Fresh water is hard to come by though, so you'll have to share bath water. And don't drink the flush water.
You hear V say to herself, dibs on bed.
We could do that. Are you guys okay with that?
I
totally
can
have.
sleep anywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep on the floor anyway, so.
Okay.
And I can make more water if you need.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we'll take them.
Is that going to be 1 or 2 rooms?
2, please.
2. Okay, 12 gold.
Sexual will pay her.
Is there anything else I can be accommodating for? Or?
What was your name?
Glennis Orcslayer.
Okay.
I love your last name.
It's actually from my great-grandfather, Daryl. He was given this. It's if you look around, Doesn't really look like a tavern. Looks more kind of like a warehouse. That's because it was. And he was gifted it from the town for saving the town from orcs, and hence the last name Orc Slayer. And that's actually his sword on the pillar right there in the center.
Oh wow! I'm gonna go look at the sword.
Well, it's in your blood then.
After him, we just kind of settled and, generation after generation running the town. But he has been rough, but not the past couple of years. And Seisha, what you're looking over is just like beaten, battered, and well-used accoutrement of people. And
you look at the sword, and it's a long sword, fairly standard hilt and crossguard. You can definitely see the wear of nicks and dings across the blade, well used. And it is just kind of in the centerpiece of where all of this just homage and just like stuff on the walls just kind of spreads out from this center point of the sword.
Yeah. It's a beautiful sword. It looks like it was well loved.
I mean, it kept him alive.
Yeah.
And protected the city. So, is this your first time to Daggerford?
Yep. As far as I know.
Sounds good. Well,
you watch as she'll kind of walk behind the bar, and she will hand you 2 keys.
I'll hand one to Harold, and I'll take the other.
Okay.
So is the city like known for anything?
Well, Daggerford for many years had just a bad run of luck. I mean, we technically still don't have the best luck, but thanks to Morwen, we're actually able to protect ourselves. She's a stern woman, but she loves her people, and we love her much better than her brother Maldwin. Laws have gotten a little stricter, so watch yourself. Just make sure that you're informed. It's basically kind of the same as Waterdeep, if you've ever been there, with a couple of addendums. And little stricter, but we are the safest we've ever been. We just ask the locals.
Hey, there's something we encountered when we were in Waterdeep, and we ran into it on the road on the way here. Is Harrow Dust a problem here?
It's one of the newest laws instated, and if you're found bringing it into the city, using or otherwise, it is either exile or death.
Got it. That's a good policy. That stuff is horrible.
When was this instituted?
I would say 10 days ago.
Is it always exile?
Seisha's...
No, not everything. Just anything that's very harsh or could be, extremely dangerous to the citizens. Harrow Dust, for a short period of time, caused a lot of problems, and we found a way to get rid of that.
Seisha just kind of glances over at Venli, remembering that Venli has a thing of Harrow Dust on her.
I'm just like looking around, like very obviously not looking at this woman anymore.
Well, we should go to bed. Thank you so much.
It's been lovely. Good night.
Oh, I'm sorry, Akira. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, real quick. You said there was mostly Waterdeep, but there was a couple of other laws. Nothing religious in nature.
You have to be more clarifying with your question. We do have a few temples here.
Are there banned magics or anything like that?
As long as you're not attacking any of the townsfolk, same as Waterdeep.
Okay.
From what I hear is that as long as you don't use any magics against any of the citizens. By the way, you are temporary citizens inside the walls of Daggerford. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
How exciting.
Been so many places this year.
I know, right?
All right.
Okay.
As soon as we're separated away from this woman, I say to the group, I need to speak to everyone before we go any farther forward.
Should we go into one of the rooms first?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so
open up whatever room we found.
So you look at the keys, and there's 2 keys. One of has what looks to be a shamrock base.
They both do.
They both do, and imprinted is the image of Timora, which is is that her holy symbol, the golden coin?
It's not. It's typically her. You would know her holy symbol to be a golden or a silvered coin with a picture of a beautiful woman wreathed in shamrocks.
Yep.
This is a shamrock with a woman in the center,
And you know to be Timora.
Yeah, and on the backside it has a room number.
Yep. But you make your way up to the second story, where you find a series of rooms lining the balcony walls. One of the doors, labeled Suites, leads down a short hallway that ends at 2 mirroring doorways. As you open neighboring doors, you see 2 identical low-lit rooms that open up into a large bedroom, living room combination filled with 2 twin beds, a large couch adjacent to a small coffee table, and a simple wooden desk tucked into the corner. 2 doors in the room are open, revealing a small closet and a bathing room with a small metal circular tub.
The tub is filled with water, but permeates the room with the smell of flowers, herbs, salt, and scented oils, all of which seem to be laced with a slight foul scent. The glint from a small dirty mirror hangs on the wall over a pedestal with a small pitcher of water and a spittoon. The last door in the room is labeled Privy. It opens into a small closet with a wooden plank ledge seat with a center hole cut into it. A pitcher of water sits on the plank of wood under a few shelves of wilting flowers.
Oh no. It's the bag all over again. I should have thought about this when we started on the journey.
I thought we did. I mean, this is better than going out in the woods.
Yeah, and he reaches into his bag and pulls out one of the far too many toilet paper rolls and sets one down.
It's not that bad.
Oh, this is great. I mean, there's a door and everything.
There's a weird smell coming from the water. That's not normal.
No,
Yeah.
that's true.
Because they don't have city-provided water magic here.
Okay.
Can I-
That doesn't make it not smell weird. I smell. It's like when you try to take potpourri and rub it over like a locker room. It's now it's sweet smelling ass. It's not better.
Wait a minute, Voss is going to interrupt us in just a second to tell us the important thing that he has to talk about. But first, we have to keep talking nonsense so that he gets to interrupt us.
That's fair.
So tell me more about this.
I don't.
Water,
I'm
Harold.
searching the room for anything erstwhile while the nonsense is going on because I know how to mediate my time properly. So that's what I'm doing.
I can't help but feel like flowery smelling farts is better than just solid farts.
Okay, and she casts prestidigitation. Everything smells like lavender.
And
well-
Boss, just so you know, you don't even have to roll. Just with your passive investigation, it's like walking into a modern hotel room. It is
What kind
very
of hotel we
mundane,
talking?
very blank. There isn't any hidden floorboards or removable pictures revealing hidden vaults and stuff.
Any windows here?
There are 2. Each room has 2 windows.
Okay. I cover the windows, and then I sit down, and I invite the rest of the group to do the same.
Each window is curtained, so you can easily just close the curtain.
Is this a conversation that would best benefit from total privacy?
Yes.
Let me see real fast if I could do that. The answer is no. Today we were traveling. I didn't prepare that one. Sorry.
It won't make a difference at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps later on, if
How
we
do you
attract
turn the water to
attention.
make it smell bad? Why are they doing that? How do you even work your? It's like I expect like walls or floors or like
Harold.
beds.
Because, Harold, it's better than just a chamber pot, right? I mean, just a pot sitting next to your bed where you do your things and then someone has to come up and empty them out at the beginning of each day. That used to be my responsibility. I used to have to go up in the morning and find each chamber.
Okay, I don't need to hear any more of this story.
But there's some really useful
Help.
things you
That's
can do.
not useful. Nothing about that is useful. Whoever thought to themselves, "Oh, I know how we'll deal with this. We'll make a bucket and take it outside." Those people didn't think hard enough.
How do you
Sorry.
think they clean your clothes, Harold?
Is there a drain in any of the stuff in the sink and the tub and anything, or is it?
The tub is not drainable. There is no sink. It is a vase of water with a spittoon, and the hole in the privy does look to go down beyond your sight. So it does look like it, quote unquote, drains somewhere, but
it goes to the poop hole.
And there is also another vase of water there that you can use to pour into said hole.
All right. Orkira is going to dump whatever's in the bucket out down the hole that smells
Wait, that's our flush water.
No, she's gonna give us magic water stolen from someone else's house.
Oh,
It's not stolen. I promise you, it's not stolen.
That's just theoretical, V.
You know what? When I talk to the Phoenix tomorrow, I will make sure I ask. But I'm like 99% sure it's not stolen. And then she'll set the bucket back up next to the tub, and I will, because I still have create food and water. I don't just have create water at the moment. She will cast create food and water, so she gets 30 gallons of water, which should fill the tub and the sink and the bucket with clean, unsmelling of anything water. And then there's also a bread basket full of really hardtack. So that just appears.
Yeah, and I will say that, like, with your passive perception, like, as you were dumping the water, even though it is, like, covered in, like, flowers, there is still that, like, underlying just acrid, soiled, sour smell to this water that they're trying to mask with some form of just floral, aromas. But as you dump it and it goes down, and you instantly fill it up, and now you have fresh, clean, crisp, clear water in the tub.
And could I have used prestidigitation to clean the tub before she put the water back into it?
Absolutely.
100%.
Because dirty water leaves behind residue.
Yeah. I don't understand why they don't just have people
in Bentley's room.
I mean, I can do it in the other room too. I can do that one more time. So, Harold, wherever you want me to make fresh water, I got you.
Okay, the curiosity is killing me, and he's not doing it just to spite me. So everybody be quiet so Voss can tell us the important thing.
Oh yeah, there's an important thing.
Yeah. What's the important
Want a snack
thing,
while
Voss?
we're eating? While we're
Oh,
talking?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Where's that poop hole go?
It probably goes to a hole in the ground.
Harold, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
You're right. Go ahead.
Is there
Voss.
a moat I didn't see?
There is.
We crossed a moat to get into the city.
I bet that's where the poop hole goes.
Don't swim in the moat.
Oh yeah.
We'll go. They might
Gotta
have
mark
sewers
that one
here.
off my bucket list.
I'm
real
going to
quick.
go ahead and say that Harold's no longer allowed to talk. V, you're no longer allowed to talk. And Seisha, you're no longer allowed to talk for the next 30 minutes. Okay, Voss, go ahead. Thank you.
What about Orkira?
What did I just say, V?
Why did I get told I can't talk?
Everyone's breaking the rules today.
To be fair, Seisha, you talk the most.
Voss, why are we here for more than a day?
Couple of reasons. One, I grew up here.
Oh.
Certain areas of this place were used as a front for the Reforged Ring. It has a history of potentially being fronts for criminal activities. The bag of harrow dust you found along the highway confirms my suspicions. They may be here again, in some capacity or another. Perhaps not the ring, but Xanathar, Manchun, or perhaps even this Harbinger, who seems to be moving now. No one else knows about these things except us. Not in this town, I think. While they may know of the harrow dust, they don't know the long connections that it has with our enemies. I think it behooves us to use what time we can here to eradicate whatever presence is here. The guard won't know what to look for. Many won't know what to do. Only the 6 of us can recognize this.
We have to be really, really careful if we're going to be doing things outside the bounds of the law. If they're stricter about it here than they are in Waterdeep, then taking vigilante law is going to carry a bigger consequence if we get caught.
It's do that or leave.
I have a question for the DMs.
Yes.
What kind of weight does the Force Grey have outside of Waterdeep? Because I know we carry a big weight within Waterdeep.
Yeah, not a lot. Most of everything Force Grey is protecting and doing right by Waterdeep.
Okay.
And its principalities, however, Daggerford is not one of them.
Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah,
To make sure, because I fully have a bag of Harrow dust in my bag of holding right now. I need to come up with an excuse. But continue.
Yeah. It is recognized, but it is not like you don't have.
I don't have authority over the guard.
Correct.
Why is it we gotta do it or we gotta leave? Why can't we tell the guard, the people in charge, the people who know the city?
Because we don't know if the nobility's involved or not.
Right. They were.
Lest we forget, in Waterdeep, the whole reason many of these things started is because the nobles reached out to a dark force. Many of them are already compromised by Xanathar and Manshoon, and the fact that Harrow dust is being shipped along the roads here implies they have made their mark here.
Well, not everyone.
I don't think it was being
Bad.
shipped. I think that was an individual carrying it.
Whatever the case may be, and we may find nothing here and then move on,
Yeah.
I think taking the next few days to ensure that would be helpful, not only to our allies in Waterdeep, but also to ourselves in the future, if whatever negative political force that may be here is uprooted.
Okay.
I know the town well enough. We're currently in the, the caravan quarter, correct?
You are currently in, I think, the merchant district. The caravan grounds is outside.
Okay,
traveling.
merchant district. So going by what I can say, aside from the quarter we're in, it's divided in the farmer's quarter, the money quarter, and the river quarter. Am I correct?
You are correct. It is the caravan quarter. The caravan grounds is outside.
Gotcha. Okay.
Adjacent to you is the farmer's quarter.
I suggest we split into teams of 2 and each tomorrow take a quarter. Search the grounds and look for anything that may be suspicious or out of place. Now, I have pretty good confidence in my eyes, but I know what I'm best. So, Vinley, Seisha, and Okira need to be on separate teams for this.
I was about to say that.
I can also prepare the spell that lets me track stuff down. I mean, now that I've seen this Harrow dust that you've been talking about, I can locate it. Or
Wise idea.
Fee, remember when we did our outing to figure out Lanky Lad?
Yeah!
We could do it again!
Ah! Lanky boy!
I was actually going to suggest that Seisha and V go together and Orkira and Harold go together.
We did do very well, just us.
We do. We actually really do. We're very effective.
I'm going to bring tissues this time.
That's a good idea. Yes. Because you never know. And you
Why?
You know when
Yeah,
you're going to come
that
across
Michigan.
someone who needs them and doesn't have them.
Right? It was very sweet of you to think of that last time.
Voss, I just want
I
to be
mean,
clear.
not having them was a problem, but you thought of it.
I
There's
did
not-
think of it.
There's nothing else in the city you're here for like a 10 day, is there? Because that's a long period of time.
It is a long.
We may not need a 10-day.
I mean, it took us a night to kill the Xanathar.
We may not need a 10-day, but we don't have to stay here for a 10-day. We can leave when we please.
Just
If we
making
feel
sure.
our business is concluded, then we can go. But I wanted to give us enough time to make sure, in case we needed it.
I'm going to insight check
Yeah,
Voss.
I want to insight Voss.
Sure.
I don't know if he's being honest when he's like, yeah, this is the only reason we're stopping here.
Mm-hmm.
But I rolled a natural 1, so I believe it.
Well, it's his lucky day because I rolled a 3 and a 6, so that's a 13.
21.
Telling the truth.
Natural 19 plus 2.
Right.
Okay.
My idea is, considering I know the quarters, I can give you a little bit of information, but I haven't been here since I was 5. So obviously things have changed. Not directly, anyway. I'd like to take the farmer's quarter.
Oh, joy.
It's a little bit more than that, but yes. That leaves the money quarter and the river quarter.
We should probably take the money quarter.
I recommend 2 places to check out in the money quarter.
Okay.
Go ahead, recommend them.
The Lizard's Gizzard
Okay.
and the Sword Coast Traders Bank.
I'm sorry, are we going to gloss over the Lizard's Gizzard?
What a cute name.
Can we have a little background on
I
what?
think we chose the right group and the right
Pretty sure
spot.
it's a bar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is it run by a Sariel?
Who?
What are we?
Zariel, a lizard person.
Oh.
They kind of look like Dragonborn, except they come with the tails naturally.
Right,
Oh.
right.
Yeah.
I thought you were using Asariel as a name.
Oh, no.
I thought
A being who is one of the lineage of Sariels.
It's a boarding house.
what?
Well, just because it's a boring place doesn't mean that they can't have like-
Boarding house.
Okay, all right.
What exactly should we be looking for? Like, what are we trying to figure out here?
We're looking for the presence of our enemies here. Xanathar, Manchun, the two of you. It's actually a bit fortuitous considering you two are technically in the group, aside from Vinley, closest to this Harbinger character.
Yeah. Go team!
And no, I would say that those two are actually indeed much closer to the Harbinger than I am. Thank you, Voss.
Specifically, I don't know. But we're looking for anything we would recognize from all the time we've spent in Waterdeep with these characters.
All right.
Anything erstwhile. I wish I could give you better than that, but I can't. The city has changed since I've last been here, and those within it act very subtly. We're going to draw attention no matter what, even if we try to be subtle. Most of us stand out quite a bit.
Or Kira just
you guys-
locks eyes with Voss, like,
Yes,
I know.
but that may play to our favor as well.
I think literally everyone but Voss stands out in a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look normal.
Yeah. He's just a dude.
That's
Very
okay
true.
though,
It's
Harold.
just the guy with the hair.
And I
Harold and
want
I are-
everyone to know that was out of play, me saying that. And that Vinley did not just say that.
I do not take offense.
It's all right. Harold and I are used to searching for something in a place that we are not familiar with. I mean, remember we were in the bag, we were looking for that rocking chair, and we had to like wander all over town and try to find that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll just play distraction while I do the locate object thing again.
got it.
Also,
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Are there any names that you can think of? Oh yeah, I could locate object too. That's a good
It's
idea.
changed since I've been here.
Okay.
So unfortunately, no.
I also.
I wish I could give you more to go on.
It's all right. I've worked with less.
Which one of us told Bilver that we were going to meet him at the orphanage tomorrow?
I
You and
did.
Boss.
Oh.
We'll start there then. That's not a bad place to start. That is in the farmer's quarters.
I just didn't want to tell him and then not show up and then him get sad because he's a very loud person. I feel like he cries very loudly.
It works with us.
Yeah.
For the river quarter, I'd recommend you check out the local constabulary, as well as the Silver Flood Inn, which is exactly what it sounds like.
I believe that's where Bilver is staying.
Are you sure that's exactly what it sounds like? Because it sounds like it's flooded with silver, and I'm gonna guess it's not.
I meant it was an inn.
Okay.
So you want us to check out the constabulary, like isn't that like where police are gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, we should tell the local law enforcement because we're not going to stay here. And even if we find out everything and fix everything, more could go wrong. So they need to know what's going on with the Harrow dust, right?
Or Kira, when have you ever known Voss to ever want to tell anything to the guard of anywhere?
Well, that's why
I-
we're going.
To the local authorities. Let's just broaden that one.
I agree with Okira in this case, actually.
She grins this giant grin like a child who knows that they did something right.
And Harold is like, damn it, I'm gonna hear about this
Sisha,
the day.
Sisha just leans over and says real quietly to Akira, feels good when he praises you, doesn't it?
Well, it feels good when anyone praises me, but yeah. No, I think that's also why Harold, it's you and I.
Also,
We're-
think about it like this. if there is corruption in this city that goes down through the state's arm, it's important that they know we're looking into this. When your enemies are suspicious, they start to move, and then you can see it.
But again, we can't be seen doing vigilante law here.
We're not doing any kind of vigilante law. We're just asking some questions. We're not arresting anyone. We're not pursuing anything. This is something that concerns all of us. And
What happens if
technically,
one of us gets jumped.
We
that's
killed
why we're going in
Oh,
pairs.
them, of course.
Yeah. We put him down still, right?
This is not
and then we take them to
Waterdeep.
the local authorities.
That's up to your discretion. But this
Your
isn't
meeting
Waterdeep.
of- your
Well, there
meeting
are certainly
of-
places you can set up ambushes. This is not a big city. Anybody who tries to fight you out in the open, it's going to make a lot of noise.
Okay.
Would you like the bag of harrow dust as proof?
Me?
I don't
No.
know if. Yeah, I think
We're going to.
that we know we picked it up on the side of the road. We can just tell the law enforcement what we saw and what we know about from Waterdeep. I think handing it over might be weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what
I
any
have destroyed that yet?
I'm not looking to get exiled from the city the first time I step foot into it yet.
You have literally told Manchun a lie to his face, and he believes.
I tell lies
think-
to everyone's faces. What's the big deal about that?
Then maybe you could tell the truth just as good.
I
I
don't
agree with
know.
Vinny.
Deal
Then I'll
about
be
that.
less endearing.
I meant about
Well-
the harrow dust. I enjoy your lies sometimes.
Harold, you are your most endearing when you tell the truth.
The sad thing is, I think you're being honest.
I think you're just endearing and you'd lie really well.
I just.
What can I
think-
say? I put a lot of work into it.
How do we destroy that? And Orkira will point at where you're actually holding the harrow dust.
Yeah, now.
Something tells me I shouldn't burn it.
No, don't burn it. I was actually
Yeah.
going to ask the stone how to destroy it tonight.
Oh, we don't know how. Oh,
Oh, I know
The
how. We
stone
flush
might
it down
know
the
how.
toilet.
No,
Oh wait,
because
we
then you
can't
put it
flush
in-
it down the toilet because there isn't one.
There's a water supply. Remember what happened when the merfolk got poisoned with it underwater and it turned it all?
But that was fresh harrow dust that swarmed in.
I'm sorry. Are you
Just-
saying that the poop water goes into is the same place mermaids might live?
Well, yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm just saying that there is.
Is everyone clear on what we have to do tomorrow?
I understand ducks might hang out in that moat, but and I get that we don't want
you want-
harrow dust ducks.
Neo Miliana, do you want harrow ducks? Because that's how you get harrow ducks.
You can't call them harrow ducks because that's almost adorable. And
Really?
I don't want that, but then you say that and I kind of want it.
I think we're all square on the mission tomorrow, boss.
Just to be clear,
That's animal abuse.
Finley
If
and
we
I
gave
will go to the
ducks
farmer's.
harrow dust.
Vinley and I will go to the farmer's quarter.
Akira and I
Who's
will go to the river.
You to the river, and Seisha and Viomiliana to the money quarter.
Quick question. Do we know, I didn't go flying around in Waterdeep very often because that was a big no-no. Is that the same here?
Probably still.
Probably.
It will unnerve people if you feel that that would be to your advantage.
Well, I
I
was
think they
gonna.
can stop you.
Well, I'm sure people can. I'm pretty fast. I was gonna suggest if we're worried about having that on us and want to get rid of it, I could just fly it out into the woods and bury it.
Let me see if I can get an answer on how to destroy it, because that's actually something we need to know for the future. How
Yeah,
to
the
destroy
middle
it
school
without it
technique, you know,
infecting
just-
people.
I was
Get it
just
out of there, bury it somewhere, and
if we couldn't destroy it, I was just gonna have Savard fly it up to the roof and tuck it into a gutter.
Can Savard carry that much?
He's a very strong butterfly. He's very large too.
Oh, beefy wings. Well, we don't want to stick it on the roof because if someone finds it on the roof here,
yeah, that's
I
how
want-
you get.
I
That's
want
how you
this
get
place.
arrow pigeons.
Oh,
that's how you get harrow pigeons. Yes, but also I don't want anyone to find it in this place and make this place dangerous.
Boss will head, feeling that the group has got it and is just going to discuss nonsense. We'll walk out, say that he is going to stay in the opposite room of this one for the night, and go back down to the bar.
Yeah. What what's the sleeping arrangements? I'm just gonna sleep on the floor so I can go anywhere.
I called dibs on the bed if that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll sleep on the floor too. You can have the other bed.
I'll take the couch.
Oh, there's
Well,
two
we've got-
beds in the other room.
Yeah, we've got
Oh.
4
I'm
beds, 2
assuming we're
couches
splitting
at
boys
all.
and girls, or
Yeah, so you have 2 rooms. Each room has 2 beds and a couch.
So no one has to sleep on the floor, is what
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
yeah.
No
Well,
one has to.
Kira does because she's too big.
Well,
I'll
Okay.
sleep on the sofa.
What? Is that
What?
a problem?
Nothing. I
everyone-
just had a thought.
what?
Sofa.
We're having Harold, shoot.
Goodbye, Harold.
Bye, Harold.
I look over at Voss and wherever.
I am
he
out of
went,
the room.
Yeah, I'm like-
I've gone down to the bar.
I'm gonna go take a bed because I've earned one at this point. As I walk over and
I'm
like,
sorry, who are you?
I'll go to the other room and I'll go take care of the water in the other room. And I'll follow Harold out.
Seisha, what did Harold do?
Nothing. Okay. We can have a slumber party.
Oh.
Like we did that one time with the hair braiding?
Yes.
Is it a slumber party if you live together?
Well, because we're all gonna be in the same room, so we can like slumber and do
Party.
music games like light as a feather, stiff as a plank.
oh god,
I got some of the
water on my hands.
No, hold on a second. I got you.
Seisha, do you happen to remember how old I am?
Yes, you're well over 200 years old.
But you
Hi.
don't look a day over 30.
Thank you. You know, technically, I'd look more 24-ish, but thank you.
You don't look a day over 24-ish.
Harold, do you want me to set it on fire? I can try to set it on fire.
Wait, yes, wait, no.
So
I'll wipe it up.
The point of this was to tell you I've never had a slumber party in almost 300 years.
we're having a slumber party tonight. We're having a slumber. Oh! We have to do a séance. It's part of a slumber party.
Wait, no, the last time we did that, it went horribly bad.
Yeah, but it'll be fine this time.
I did it like 8 times before then, though, and nothing went wrong.
Look, it doesn't mean I wasn't scarred by the last time.
No, because I've got
You were
somebody I want to
scarred.
try séancing.
Well, we can do a seance.
I don't know if you can
enjoy
do it though, because I don't have their actual name.
Well, who are we gonna talk to
Just
then?
an initial, their last name, and something they wrote.
He's gonna turn to Akira.
What
and
if
all the
we
water out.
tried to do a seance with our favorite dead celebrities?
I don't.
So
That's a slumber party thing, I think, right?
I'm gonna tell Akira.
Well, this would
that
be
I'm
my
gonna go
favorite
try
dead
to find
celebrity because
Voss.
it might be a relative.
I'm gonna just try to go find Voss.
All right, so yeah, sorry, hang on just a second, girls. Harold, or Ethan, what were you saying?
I'm just trying to find Voss. Like I just told Akira, hey, I'm gonna go find Voss.
Okay, yeah, we got the water all set up. I'm gonna hang out and try to figure out what we're supposed to do with the hero dust. But I guess I'll crash in here if the 2 of you are taking the beds, right?
Yeah, I think from what I heard from the squealing in the other room, I think they'd want you to stay there.
Why? Then there's just gonna be 4 of us in one room and 2 in another.
That's something for you guys to discuss in high-pitched, squealy voices while I go downstairs.
I can try to have a high-pitched, squealy voice. That's gonna.
Your voice is perfect and flawless as it is.
I can-
It changes
I
nothing
can-
about yourself. You're perfect.
You know, this is one of those times where I know you're lying, but I appreciate it. Go find
No,
Voss. I'll go.
I'm not lying. You're awesome, and I love you to death. And I'm going downstairs. I'm gonna go get a drink. Hopefully, it doesn't smell weird.
And if it does, come find me or Finley and we'll fix it. Love you too. Bye. And Orkira will make sure all of the water in the other room is replaced with clean, fresh water, which does mean that there's now a bread basket full of hardtack in the middle of the room. Because wherever she goes is just poof, bread basket of hardtack, poof, bread basket of hardtack. And she'll come back into the other room about this time and go, okay, I'm gonna sleep on the floor in the other room, so it's like 3 and 3. Do you need me to do anything else here, or I was gonna hang out while you were doing the stone thing?
Well, Seisha has a couple lovely ideas for itinerary for this evening.
Yeah.
Itinerary? I mean, sleep.
Slumber
right?
party. No, slumber party.
Well, isn't that what we're doing? We're sleeping?
Well, at a slumber party, you do other stuff though. I read all about them when I was younger. Okay, so like we're going to, those of us with hair, we'll braid each other's hair. For you, we could, does it bother you if we touch your horns?
No, not really. I
We
mean,
can polish and put bows on your horns.
polishing would be nice. I haven't done that since V's party, but how long is this gonna take?
And then we do light as a feather, stiff as a plank. And then we're talking about possibly doing a seance.
It's supposed to be a nighttime event before sleeping.
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause
We'll
sleep
get a
would be
full
good.
night's sleep. It'll be fine.
Okay, all right. No, I was a little worried that we were staying up all night. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do what we can. But we should figure out what we want to, like, you should ask your question, because if the stone doesn't know how to get rid of the harrow dust, I'm gonna go take a flight and bury it in the woods like a bear.
Okay, well, let me do that first then.
But what if a bear finds it?
Well,
That's why I'm
That's
gonna
how you
bury
get
it.
A harrow bear sounds even worse than harrow
That sounds
dust.
really bad.
or a
Yeah.
harrow plant.
I mean,
Oh.
really, a harrow, anything sounds bad. That's just the most innocuous thing I can think of.
Harrow is just a very strange name to me.
Yeah.
We've
don't
said it in-
like drugs.
No, me neither.
No.
Oh, I'll be right back. I have to contact a couple people.
Okay.
Ask your questions. I'll leave the bag of harrow dust right here. And
Okay.
I'm gonna just take a step outside. Go ahead.
When she does that, Orkira will just make sure that like the bag of harrow dust is covered by something. So like she's gonna grab a pillow off the.
No, don't put
something.
the pillow down on it. Just set it very gently.
Okay.
But then the harrow dust is going to be on the pillow.
I mean, it's a
And people put
closed
their face
bag,
on the
right?
pillow.
No, it's a closed bag, right?
Okay. Stone of Golor.
And once again, you feel that creeping in your back of your mind again. Seisha Valaspot, what knowledge can I bestow upon thee?
How do you destroy harrow dust without it being consumed by people?
You take 14 psychic damage. That is
That's how you do it.
taken off of your hit point maximum
Mm-hmm.
as the knowledge fills your mind. The substance known as harrow dust, ground down from the encephalon brain matter from the entity known as Zerguth the Ember King, imprisoned an eon ago in the star mounts from those that birthed the Goliath race and Earth Genasi. It is unknown to me how to destroy such a substance, but now I hunger for this knowledge. Find out for me.
Oh, he has no idea.
Bitch, what?
That's your dad.
Wow. Wow.
She just gets this like kind of panicked look on her face.
What's going on? What'd it say? Do you have to like poop on it or something? You look really horrified.
It
And I
didn't give
know
you a bad
we
name
were
again.
excited about all that poop talk earlier, so
So harrow dust is something connected to a being known as the Amber King.
the what?
Amber King.
I poke my head back in. What?
Amber King.
That's what I thought you said.
Okay.
I come in and close the door because we'll do the sendings in a minute.
Okay.
It just wouldn't have taken that long.
Somehow tied to the star mounts and you said the Goliaths up there? The Goliaths and the Genasi?
The Zerguth, the Amber King, was imprisoned an eon ago in the Star Mounts.
By those that birthed the Goliath race and Earth Genasi.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel as though we're stumbling upon conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory here.
Seisha, your keen mind kicks in, and you remember V's birthday party and the story that Lo told V. Emiliana about the first Goliaths and how they fought an entity that swept in from the east and how they became the Wardens of the Rock.
V, remember the story Lo told us at your
Yeah.
birthday?
Yeah?
That's what they were fighting. They fought and imprisoned the Amber King in the Star Mounts.
Oh, so he must suck. Well, that makes sense if he made harrow dust.
Yeah.
From what it sounds like, the harrow dust is just an after effect of his being there.
So if he's an Amber King, he
But-
must have liked Amber, right?
Well,
Here's,
keep in mind.
no, here's my concern.
Mhm.
He's creating the Harrow dust, and your father is the one who's getting it
Mining it.
elsewhere.
Because remember when we found the Harrow Dust operation, they were in crystals. They were in amber crystals before
Amber.
anything else. And they were going through a machine to be refined to dust. Where do you think the Winter Wind was getting his supply?
From the brain of the Amber King.
Oh, from the brain.
It's his
like
brain.
the actual brain of the entity.
Yes.
I was about to say, is the entity still around?
Well, it has
It
to be.
must be if they're mining his brain.
That would make a lot of sense as to why it makes magic act funny. This thing must be from the... Can I make a history check? I know it's going to be really, really high.
Sure. What are
Can I
you trying to
connect?
history?
Or Arcana.
What are you trying to history and or arcana?
I'm trying to see the Amber King. Have I ever heard a story or heard anything about the Amber King being connected to the Far Realms? I know this is probably going to be a 25, but I'm willing to try.
Sure.
Okay. Absolutely not. That's a hard no.
His name has come up before when I've talked to the stone.
Oh, in what way?
He was mentioned when I asked about the hierarchy of the Far Realms, I believe. His name was one of the ones mentioned.
I feel as though I was almost onto something like that, and then my brain just stopped.
He's a oh, what's the word?
A very powerful entity, a very weak entity.
I don't remember. Oh well.
I mean, he has to be relatively weak if he's trapped inside of a mountain.
I don't think he's as powerful as
Big
the Elder Eye. I think he's somewhere under him. I don't know if he serves him,
Okay.
but power level, I think he's under him.
Well, seeing as he's a king, probably not.
It's also possible that this creature isn't still alive just because they're mining its brain. There's lots of
I
creatures when they die that they
feel like maybe its soul isn't there, but it left a body behind. That would be my guess.
If it left a body behind, I would love to get my hands on it.
You are
I mean-
not allowed to make a skeleton of this thing.
if it left a body behind, and Orkira will point at the bag of Harrow dust. I think we already have some of it, right?
Bentley Bethelinia Gallinodel. You are not creating a skeleton
What was
from the
that?
body of the Amber King. How are we going to outfit that to where we don't walk into a town and people freak the geek out?
It
Wait,
wouldn't
we make it
matter at that
invisible, but more important matters. Finley, your middle name is Beverly Nevely?
I'm unaware as to what the concept. Well, I know what middle names are. I don't have one.
Well, now
I
you
like
do.
Beverly.
It's Lily Nadara.
Betha Lily Nagara.
I also want to clarify that when you went into the Blue Alley and you found the Harrow Dust organization, there were chunks of this like crystal pieces that were almost the size of you, and there's been a long going thing, and it's an entity trapped within a mountain. I don't know what you're thinking about how big it is, but
I don't
mean,
think there's
pretty big.
any reality in this thought process that's going on during this conversation, Devin. I think that's where you're going wrong. There's no logic to be had here.
I'm sorry. Orkira spent time in Wildmount.
Wildmount.
Wildmount. And while she never encountered that creature, she would have heard stories of a creature that was, yeah. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Orkira has had experiences with massive creatures that are just constantly being eaten. More importantly, what she'll ask
We don't know how to destroy it without it affecting people.
Well,
Without
so
them consuming it was what I asked.
I have what's probably a dumb question because I've been really careful not to, touch that stuff. And you've seen a lot of it. Is it considered a poison?
Yes, because I've been able to purge it.
Is it something
But it
that-
was really, really hard to do.
Okay.
Like near impossible.
Is it the kind of thing that is always consumed by itself, or does it get added to food or drink?
It can be added to food or drink, I believe.
Because I wonder if I could just purify the food and the drink that we put it in.
I wouldn't be comfortable with that actually working.
I mean, I'm not saying that we should then try the food or drink, but I wonder if we can, add it to a bucket of water and then I just purify the bucket of water and then go bury the bucket of water somewhere. Or
I've been around you guys too long.
Orkira will go on over to
Well,
the bag.
not Orkira, but Venli. I think it's Venli that I've been around too long.
So I don't have it prepared today, but I do know purify food and drink, which renders free of poison a disease, a 5-foot sphere of stuff. Can I figure out, is this the kind of thing that I could purify this stuff?
Purify powder?
I think if that would work, the stone would have known about it.
You can certainly try.
I can't try today, so it'll be tomorrow.
FAFO.
Man,
If that would-
I'll say that out loud. I can't try it today, but I can prepare the spell for
But
tomorrow. I got a
if
whole
that
bunch of
would have
spells.
worked, the stone would have just said you can purify it with the spell.
Or perhaps the stone doesn't know that.
Vinley, you might be right, but purify food and drink is not that hard of a spell, so it seems a little weird that this stone wouldn't know about that, so you probably have a point. Okay, so plan A was just bury it somewhere.
Yeah,
Do we want to still do that?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Maybe instead of, well, no, because then a squirrel might find it, and you don't want.
you have to
Those
take a
squirrels
lot of it.
either.
You have to.
Oh gosh,
inhale it.
hair squirrels.
That would be a nightmare.
We could just pour it out somewhere, like as you're walking, because no one's going to inhale it off the ground. It's not that complicated. It's a powder that you have to
Just
inhale.
be sure you have something tied around your face when you do that, so you don't inhale it.
Of course.
But what about, harrow
Ants.
plants and
Ooh, arrow plant. I don't know
dirt?
if I plant life.
Or it
Very
gets-
bored of this conversation.
Okay. Vinley,
Orkira?
do you
Go,
still-
go try dumping it, and if you don't come back in 20 minutes, we'll come out and find you.
Oh, I was gonna let Savard dump it, because he doesn't.
Can he carry it?
I try and let Savard carry it.
What is it? The bag of...
Bag of
Bag of Herodust.
No, Savard cannot carry it.
Vinley, do you still have invisibility available?
I do.
How long
Well-
does that last?
A minute.
That should be enough time for me to get out of the city. And Orkir will go and pick
But
up
then you have
the
to come
bag.
back in, and they're going to wonder how you got out without them checking you out.
I flew.
Okay.
But then I won't have any hero dust on me, and so if they search me, all they'll find is my
Well, I mean, they didn't
marshmallows.
search us coming in, so.
Or they did,
Which
but
is
they
really
it was
weird.
like they just eyed us.
They're a very trusting city.
It's like
Yeah,
you got an eye pat down, and the cart that came in was open and just kind of like looked in and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's a very like
It wasn't very urgent for them having this process that carries death if you have this item in town.
Well, but it sounds like they don't know that this stuff is in town. So Harold and I will tell the authorities tomorrow.
No, they do.
and-
They've got a law about it. If you have it, that's death.
Oh, yeah,
Exile or
that's
death.
true. Well, you know what? One question at a time. I'm gonna look at the windows. Can I get out a window, or are they too small?
They are not openable. They're the type of windows that are just panes with the like mesh metal on it, mainly just for light.
Finley, you want to go for a walk?
I mean, I can just get out into the alley and dump it out in a trash can and come back in like 12 seconds.
That's when V leans over and whispers to Seisha, "Harrow raccoons."
Oh, they have thumbs, but they'll wash everything, so it'll be a very clean experience.
Good idea, bad idea. I'm walking towards the window currently.
Well, the window won't open.
Don't dump it from the second floor.
Come on, we'll go
I can
outside.
teleport.
You'll make me invisible, and then you'll be done with your evening and can go.
I mean, if we're doing this, we might as well just flush it.
Well, no, because it'll end up in the water supply.
What?
Harrow ducks.
Ow.
What? Why?
Is that how
Okay.
plumbing works? I'm
First of
never drinking
all,
water in Waterdeep again.
I don't know.
mean,
No, the
yeah.
water supply, like, it'll get washed out to the moat, which
it
is
should be filtered out.
Okay, I'm dumping it in the toilet. Goodbye.
Okay, you dump it in the toilet.
Yeah, I just walk up to the toilet and I dump it in there and then pour some water down. Look, it's diluted. No one's gonna inhale it now. And if they will, we'll kill it. Or it's not our problem.
we're gonna have harrow fish. Let it go.
Or Hero waits there,
Shoot me
like,
now.
I'm not that scared of harrowfish. I mean, what are they gonna do? Come out of the water?
My
Look
families
at
were
you.
druids. I am
Oh.
not. I don't care about nature.
All right.
or
And then
Hero
the-
waits there after that happens, as though Vinley has just flushed a cherry bomb, waiting for the explosion. Just like,
You stand there looking, waiting for something to happen, and after a few moments, nothing happens. But in the famous words of my good friend Jason Carl, I've made a note.
And we're going to switch over to Voss and Harold.
Can't wait for the harrowfish.
And
well, now
you
it's
two-
Harrow vampires, is what
Harrow
happened.
gators.
Harrow gators.
you two have gone downstairs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You make your way down into the very empty tavern, and you see Glynis once again, just kind of her feet kicked up, head back.
I will quietly move so as to not wake her because I've been in that situation a lot at my jobs. And let me
I walk over to her and wake her up.
She startles awake.
I will grab her gently by either her outstretched foot or anything like that to keep her from falling backwards.
Oh, thank you. I almost fell back. Is there something the Lady Luck can do for you?
A little bit of information. I'm going to be accompanying a friend of mine who came into town in the orphanage and the farmers' quarters. Could you tell me who runs that?
Yeah. Well, no. I don't know her real name. We all just call her Mother. We're all her children.
Harold gives a look to Voss like
Boss returns the look, trying to be subtle about this, but turns back and says, "Forgive me, I'm unfamiliar with the colloquialisms and the customs here. What do you mean by that?"
I mean, she's not legitimately all of our, mother, but she's very matronly, and she takes care of everybody, especially the children. There was a couple of years where it wasn't in service, and it started up in the past 3, 4, 5, a couple of years back.
Interesting. What happened to the previous proprietor?
Left town? Don't know much from that.
What does she look like?
Oh, she's a beautiful woman. Probably late 30s to early 40s. Silky, dark skin, and loves makeup. She's excellent with makeup. I wish I had her skill. And, but, I mean, just carries herself with a lot of poise and amazing woman, really.
I see. I can't wait to meet her. Thank you. What is her... Does she just go by Mother, or does she have an actual name?
Again, I don't. If she does, I don't know it. We all just call her Mother.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Is there any particular reason? Are you looking to adopt a child?
No. Just curious. One of our traveling compatriots made the trip specifically for that. And since I'm accompanying tomorrow, I thought it might be best to know where I'm going and who I'll be meeting.
Well, you can find the orphanage next to one of the temples. It's the Chantea, I believe. Near the Ducal Palace, just right before you reach the gates and all of that.
Thank you. I know you're probably done serving for the night, but do you mind if I just sit a spell down here?
We always have salted nuts ready on hand if you would like some of that. And I can fetch you a beverage if you wish, but kitchen's closed.
I put down 2 silver and say, whatever you have available for myself and my friend, if this will cover it.
And she looks down at what you put on the table and then looks back at you. You sure you haven't been here before? And takes the 2 silver. Your insight picks up that you paid the exact correct amount.
Yep.
And we have bitter root beer, Czar, sherry, and white ale. No water, sorry.
Root beer.
Same.
Okay. And she'll make her way back behind the bar. And
Can I get
there's
all of the nuts, please?
Yep. And she'll kind of go to a large keg, kind of turn a thing, and you see this like dark ale kind of fill the clear mugs, and she'll grab a wooden bowl and kind of scoop it in something behind the bar. Comes out, and it's just assorted various nuts. Sets it down and sets the.
Are any of them still shelled?
No, they're all unshelled.
Okay, just checking.
But yeah, almonds, walnuts, pecans, the whole mixture of the peanuts,
cashews,
yeah, just assorted.
I take a seat fairly far away from her. Do I get the feeling that any of this is a front?
Make an insight check. Or what's your passive insight? We'll go with passive.
My passive insight is 16.
No, not at all.
Gotcha.
Like the look, the layout, the last time you were in here, it is literally a tavern for adventurers, and soldiers. Caters to those passing through. Everything in here is just quick and on the go stuff.
When was the last time you were here officially?
27 years ago.
You remember a young girl about your age that was running around this tavern very much like Pixel and Declan do.
Interesting. I stare at her for just a moment, but then I nod, and then I take a seat a little ways away from her.
I'll sit down with him.
I kind of like stare off for a little bit, nursing the drink that I have in front of me.
For once, Harold's really quiet and is just kind of like watching Voss. Like it's weird to see him in a state like I haven't seen him like this since when we were being attacked by everyone in the city, and Harold's just kind of looks a little like he doesn't really understand.
You told me what was happening with your thoughts, so I'll be honest with you. No, we're not just here to inspect the city.
It's a shame. I really bought it when you said it. But now it makes more sense.
I have my moments.
So what are you doing here?
I had such a clear idea in my head. I don't know why I thought she'd still be alive or still be around. The ring moves often. I thought when I came here I'd kill her.
Who?
The old proprietor of the orphanage, the woman who sold me. I had it perfect in my mind. Dreamed of this day.
I think that this doesn't necessarily mean that the day is gone. It just means that your dream wasn't exactly accurate. When you think of that woman, I mean, you're thinking of it from when you were a kid. There's no real way of knowing whether she was in on it or not.
I never told you who my first captain was, did I?
I think you mentioned that you didn't like him.
Bracken the Black. I've never seen any humanoid in my life bigger than him, and that includes Viomiliana's father. An orc, but different than normal. Gigantic, eyes piss yellow and full of hate. Long beard down to his stomach. Gigantic. I've never met a man so filled with hate in my life, but I remember him plonking down a large sum of gold into her hands. So yes, she was in on it.
And
she was from the beginning.
And she's one of the first steps on the path, huh?
I don't know. I wanted to have that opportunity.
Doesn't mean the opportunity's gone.
Maybe not, but
maybe it won't be as poetic. But you know this business. Things like this, they never are. You know, I would have liked to have stabbed Xanathar in his own lair, you know, in the eye, and instead we blew him up in the middle of our driveway.
We'll get the new one.
I'm more, while we're here, that sort of stuff is so behind me.
Maybe.
I'm more worried about you, man. This is your big deal, and you seem distraught. You've thought about this so long. I'm afraid you're going to become a little lost if it doesn't follow the script you've set up for yourself. And I'll admit, you're very good at figuring out the next step for people, but this is, I mean, you'd have to be psychic.
This is the only place in my life I have ever been happy. 5 years of my life, I had that. And the pain of being torn from it haunts me to this day. If I'm being honest with you, I hate this place and everything in it. I know it's not the town's fault that this happened, but it doesn't make a difference. In some small way, maybe rooting out whatever's left in this place is my way of getting revenge on it. But I can't change that.
Maybe it's not the most noble reason to clean out a city, but then again, I work for the Harpers, and it's not exactly like every decision we make is the most noble.
I don't know if I've ever made a decision for noble reasons, Harold.
You know, what is nobility? The adventuring game just boils down to doing what you have to do in the moment. That's what I've discovered, and that's my feelings on it, is that you have to just close your eyes, gag a little bit, and shove whatever arm or body part is going into whatever monster you're going to try to kill. It's just a whole thing. That much having been said, this isn't really like adventuring for me when you talk about these sort of things. This is more personal than that. And I want you to get what you want. At the same time, I don't want you to lose yourself trying to get it. Even if maybe you probably already feel like you're already there. I've seen you happy in Waterdeep. Maybe not thrilled. Maybe it isn't the lifestyle you should have had. Maybe it isn't the childhood you wanted or anything like that. But I mean, there is good out there. And you found some of it. And I think that maybe deep down, you know that there's parts of the good world that you really like and that you want to hold on to. But I think that you're not going to be able to do any of that until these bad parts of your life are taken care of. And you don't have to do that alone.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of someone named Lascalar?
Have I, guys? I don't think I have. No.
When I was young, we were told great tales of Lascalar, a pirate, but not like me.
Actually,
Yeah,
go ahead
boy.
and make a history check.
Yeah.
Oh, I might know
Sorry,
him.
sorry, you actually made it.
He's a bard. He might.
18.
You have actually heard of Lascalar, and much of what Voss is saying will kind of spark that memory. Like, oh wait, no, I have heard of that guy. And very, very much like high seas, swashbuckling, vigilante, like hero of the waters type.
Sure.
And we'll say it didn't sound when he asked you the name. It was the name that you forgot, but not
Yeah.
the.
Oh, Lascalar. Right. The vigilante pirate guy on the high seas saving people on a boat, right?
Treasure hunting, that sort of thing, not pillaging, raiding,
Yeah.
barely counts as actual piracy. But that's what I wanted to be. And we had it all planned out. We were going to get a ship, and we were going to sail the seas of the Sword Coast. And we were all going to be rich and famous, and that was going to be that. And that died the moment I laid eyes on Bracken the Black.
He's dead though, right?
Oh, yes. I saw to that myself. I reach into my coat pocket and I pull out a preserved eye.
You have a lot of body parts on you, Voss. And they aren't yours.
That's all that remains of him.
Well, good. Sounds like you got exactly what you deserved. And it
Wasn't
sounds
easy.
like-
I had
sounds
to,
like- Oh, go ahead.
I had to get him when he was wounded, when he was low. It was not an epic tale or a battle by any stretch of the imagination. It was a sucker punch. I got him when he was wounded. I got him when he was at his absolute weakest. It was the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity I wanted. I could have never defeated him in a fight. I watched him rip a horse in half with his bare hands. Watch him cave a man's skull in with his own jaw. It's a terror. Never in my life would I ever be as strong as him.
You don't have to be strong, though. That's not what you're about. You aren't like him, and you never were. You were never going to be.
No.
You turned an entire enormous, one of the largest cities in the world on its head because you were determined to do it. Even I don't understand entirely the reasons you're still doing it. I just know that you're good at what you do. It's why, I mean, I stick with you because we're friends, and of course I got your back on anything, but also because you're so competent and know exactly what you're doing. And so when I see you here and I see you checking all the corners and looking nervous and unsure of yourself, I worry that you're going to make a brash decision in anger. And I want you to know that there's a room full of giggling people putting bows on everything they can reach upstairs, and myself, all willing to stand in and do whatever we have to do. The ring, I don't think anyone here would hesitate from taking them down. If you look at this lady, sold you, she's got to go, because it's not like she's going to stop. And and maybe it's not here, and maybe they've all left, but there's no way a group like that, with all that money flying around in a small little town like this, there's no way they didn't leave a trail.
Agreed. Whatever is here, we'll root it out. But this place will always feel, as you said it, strange, disconcerting, wrong. A lot of bad things happened here that no one will ever know about. And that's sad in a way.
You're talking to a professional storyteller.
Yes.
maybe one day those stories will get out and people will have their eyes a little more open.
Harold.
Yeah.
I'd like to commission you for something.
Sure.
I don't know the details quite yet, but I'm going to give you the details of 3 people I know. And I want you to write a song about them. Will you do this for me?
Of course. I don't want your payment, though.
There are people I've met in my life who no one else remembers but me, and when I am dead and gone, their memory will be dead. And that's the saddest part of all of this.
I can make them immortal.
Thank you.
He kind of looks like he wants to say more, but he hesitates and decides not to.
Voss is silent and contemplating, kind of, there's a fire staring into it as he nurses what is left of the drink and just remains silent, thinking old thoughts, dreaming old dreams.
Harold will lean back and notice that neither of them have touched any of the food and just kind of just enjoy the drink and sit back and just drink with his friend.
As you sit there in contemplation, you hear the booming crackle of thunder. It lingers for a bit. You hear the pitter-patter of rain beginning to fall outside.
Oh, there's a storm. This is going to be perfect.
So, what are the ladies doing?
Real fast before we jump into slumber party, the 2 sendings I sent.
Okay.
The first was to Fala. We reached Daggerford. I have gathered more flowers and strange bones from a odd vampire, I think. Perhaps Noel. I hope you're safe and doing well. How many was that? I lost count.
I think, judging by your hands, you just went over by 1.
Yep.
Okay. And doing...
And they reply, glad you are safe. I wish Zoraj was with you. Stay safe. I can't wait to see the flowers and your face. And that is it.
She immediately casts again before thinking about anything else and sends a sending to Davil. Glad to see you're doing your job. Thank you for watching Fala. I owe you another lunch, I believe. Vinley.
And you hear, messaging me so late. It's good to hear your voice. I'm awaiting our next encounter.
She's like reaching for the door handle. Like, is he still going? No.
And then you hear, like, after a little bit of time, you're like, so she messaged me again.
I'm gonna be like the person that I don't remember the name of currently, but I'm making a note. And then we go back in. Okay, cool.
Do you need to send Gariel a message real quick if you guys don't mind?
Go for it. I collect a dead flower from the vase in the bathroom.
Sending? Go ahead.
Oh, V says, yeah, I'm going to send one to Renair too.
Okay. Cast sending.
Okay.
Hello, Radiance. I miss you. We made it to Daggerford safe and sound, aside from the vampire attack. But don't worry, everyone's alive. Sleep sweet.
Vampires. Angel, it is sounding like you are getting into quite the adventure. Keep me updated. Stay safe.
She's the best.
Okay. So it's 25 words.
Yeah.
I just imagine her being like, so she messaged me again.
No, what's worse is she says, oh yeah, Devil, she messaged me too.
Ariel would really do that shit.
Oh my god, for real though. Okay, oh god, what am I gonna say? I'm just gonna wing it. We're gonna improv it and we're just gonna hope I can do this. Hey, love, it's me, V. Wait, you already knew that. Oh no, I have only a few words left.
You got 6.
Shit. Slumber party tonight. No vampires.
There's a moment, like you do get. All right. Glad to hear your voice. Vampires? I encountered goblins wearing grass mound hats hiding in tunnels.
Girl, what?
Stay safe.
Man, at least his villains sound a little more fashionable.
You don't think the
I
lady?
think Gariel's going stir crazy.
While the three of them have been doing their sendings, Orkira has emptied out her old bag because she finally finished the alterations on her new bag and has been transferring everything lovingly on over. And then all of the sendings have prompted her to hold on to this bundle of physical letters that she has. And she's pulled out one and is kind of rereading over it. And Seisha, when you say that, she goes, doesn't she have a boat if she's getting bored? Can't she just go somewhere? And she'll like quickly fold the note back up and keep putting stuff into her haversack.
I mean, she's got obligations in town, and her family, Doom Raiders, are all settled in. So I would imagine if she's going to go anywhere, she's going to want a couple of them going with her, and they're busy trying to get a city board set up, and she's part of that. We went on a really sweet date where we went out and did vigilante crime fighting, though.
Yeah, you mentioned that she was sexy while punching people in the face.
Super sexy, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that's a lot of rain. We're hearing the thunder, right?
Mhm.
Is it actually raining, or did I just?
It is raining.
What is the lighting situation in here? Are there candles? Is there overhead lighting? What do we got?
It is low lit rooms from sconces, basically oil lamps
Okay.
that are either affixed to the walls or sitting on like ledges or desks and stuff like that.
I put a couple of them out, so we've got like real low and creepy lighting in the room.
Oh, is it bedtime? Okay. That's
No.
good.
We're gonna do a seance.
Oh.
We're gonna try to do a seance because it's an initial and a last name and a point of reference.
Could
Is
I
that enough?
could I make an Arcana check just to double check? Like, is initial and last name enough of what I need? And from what I think, blood connection.
Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check before I.
Oh Jesus. 24.
It's definitely not a lot to go on, but the blood connection definitely is a very, very strong component for the seance to be able to pull anything up.
Yeah, because you definitely always need a tie into order, basically an anchor to pull the soul. A name is necessary. What you have is most of the name, but the blood tie, if there is one, would be.
It could affect the difficulty of the seance itself, but you're fairly confident that you have enough to go on with this. If you didn't have a blood tied to this individual, it would not be enough.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'll let Seisha know that almost exactly verbatim. And also, do you have the note? Perhaps using the note as a secondary focus.
I have a copy of it.
Right, it's her handwriting though, yes?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's my copy of her handwriting. This isn't my mother. This is someone else, I think.
Oh, I thought...
This is someone that wrote a entry that was found at Lionsbane. And when I asked if they had any record of Damara Warstein, they brought me this. And was it D or R Warstein? I can't remember.
It was D.
It is D.
Mm-hmm.
And the initial was D Warstein.
Seisha,
Yes.
your keen mind,
Yes.
the handwriting from that matches the handwriting in the journal that you were given by your father.
Alicia, are you okay?
Hold on, she had a breakthrough, I believe.
Yeah, you can see the light. See it? See it?
I just realized that the handwriting was the same.
Man, what?
Oh,
It was the same as my mother's handwriting.
I always just assumed that we would... I assumed that you thought that it was your mother because I thought it was your mother.
I thought it was. I hoped it was, but
Wait, who's your mom?
the handwriting. My mom's name was Damara. Well, what I know my mother's name as was Damara Warstein. And there was this written account that they had at Lionsbane Parish, and it was an old prophecy, it sounded like, and they thought it had to do with Kalimvor, but there were details that didn't match up. And so it sounded like it may have been about someone else. And or that it was a flawed account. I thought it meant, I think it's about someone else. I think history is going to repeat itself.
Or it could be intentionally flawed,
Could be intentionally flawed.
given what we know of your lineage and your
Yeah.
mother. No offense.
Yeah. But if that's the case, I don't know that the seance would work at all.
I mean, it's always worth a shot. We have Orkira here.
That's very kind of you to say. Also, I'm not prepared in case it goes wrong. Also, so I don't know if
I've got
Okay.
the spell.
I was gonna mention it because, like, if you want to go through with it, I'm here for you. I'll do whatever you need. But we were on the road this morning. I didn't prepare anything for seances, and I'm still really tired. So I was gonna suggest tomorrow. But like, if you want to do this now,
And Orkira will reach out and Death Ward Vinley.
Oh, thank you.
actually,
Yeah, I can definitely just like hit it a bunch if it goes wrong.
Yeah, we've got a couple thugs here, and I do have protection against good and evil.
That's good. I didn't prepare that.
Yeah.
You know what then?
And she's going to use her other 4th level slot and she's going to Death Ward Seisha. Because now
Whoa.
she's suddenly nervous about this. She's
Oh,
going to
that
look over.
tickles.
Yeah, so the two of you get flaming wings out of your back and then she'll look over at V and go,
I can do that once more if you want it.
Wait, what else costs you that much attention and energy to cast? Any of your bring people back spells?
Well, no, the only thing that exhausts me is the bringing people back spells. If I can still, I guess I should hold on to that one. V, you're really hard to kill. Are you okay with not getting a Death Ward?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay, all right. I'd rather be prepared for the worst and then have it not needed, right?
Yeah.
What's your passive insight, Orkira?
19.
You see when the wings shoot out of Vinley, for the briefest of seconds, you see that she gets really very uncomfortable. And you would probably know because the last time you death warded her, she died.
Yeah.
But then she fixes her face and goes back to setting everything up.
Orkira won't mention anything at the moment if it's clear that you don't want that to be noticed.
Oh yeah, she fully put her face back on.
Yeah, especially before a seance, but
Did
yeah.
I see it with a 17?
Probably, yeah. I have a -1.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, I have a +0 to deception now. So I have a 10 in my passive deception.
Nice. If you don't mind, I mean, I wouldn't mind trying it. Wait, what happens if you try to do it to a person and they're not dead?
You never know who you get then.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't a good idea then.
It's never a good idea. But
isn't
what I
that the
do.
point of sleepovers? Like slumber parties is like reckless mayhem or something?
Yeah, but we're at an inn. I just thought of that. There's innocent people in the rooms around us.
then it's the insult that got possessed.
I
Who
can't
knew the
say
inn was
that. That wouldn't save lives.
And it's not going to hurt them if we put the ghost down within the room.
I'm gonna ultimately leave this to like you guys to make this decision because I don't mind either way.
Then
Well-
started chanting.
Oh, if she started chanting, so Orkira goes to like make a suggestion and then goes,
Let me
I
just
think
get
we're doing
behind her.
this.
I get behind her, pull out my sword.
That's never not gonna be creepy. And she'll take a position in the seance.
All right. You spend 10 minutes casting at doing the red salt circle, adding the black flame candle, and go ahead.
Are you doing it ritually?
Yes, I don't
So it
have
adds another 10 minutes.
20 minutes. Go ahead and
In the last, when she gets to minute 9 of minute 10, I'm casting Bless. And
Aww.
I'm gonna get Vinley. I think I get 3. I'll get the 3 of them.
What about
So
you?
all 3 of you get a D4 to add to an attack roll, to any attack roll or saving throw.
Oh, sick.
all are blessed.
I don't get advantage on anything on this, right?
No,
For the blood?
a
Okay.
regular Arcana check.
It's pretty low for me.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 people, and one has a direct tie. So that's going to
That's it's pretty low for me, I'm not gonna lie.
An 18 is still really freaking good.
Yeah, but it was almost a 16 on the die.
Oh.
That would have been at 25.
Okay. So what is your total?
18.
18. So you know that the DC is typically 20, -1 for every person involved, which includes you, -2 for any of those that have direct ties to the entity. So theoretically, it should be a DC 15 currently.
Yeah,
Theoretically.
theoretically. But,
You know,
Theoretical correct is always the best one.
what do I get? What color?
you all
odd?
sit within the red salt circle around the black flame candle infused with herbs soaked in arcane rich dragon's blood. Out a series of incantations calling out to Jurgle to find a name within his book of souls so that their spirit may be ushered from the outer planes and into Vinley's body. With the ritual complete, Vinley's head rocks back with a deep gasp as her body becomes inhabited with another spirit. You wait for a moment in silence before she tilts her head forward and stares back at you with sinister, burning, and smoking red eyes as she roars out in dark, ominous laughter. She speaks in a language none of you understand, yet you hear it echo comprehensively in your mind like hot coals and gravel churning in your head.
You guys are going to be pissed.
Ah, it feels so good to be back on the mortal plane.
Nope!
Thank you.
Attacking.
That's where we're going to take a break.
Oh, we didn't get far. Okay.
You guys are gonna be so mad at us.
I want to know who this is.
Harold's downstairs thinking about all of the bows in people's hair that we're doing.
Oh, no.
And we're upstairs summoning a demon.
Oh no, I've summoned the real Oingo Boingo.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you to
no.
all of our viewers. If you have not done so yet, please go to Rock Punch ATL's Twitch chat, enter hashtag Beyond or hashtag Eldritch for your chance to win a player's bundle or an Eldritch Foundry miniature. Please make sure to enter only once so you're not disqualified. And we'll see you in about 15, 20 minutes.
Yep.
And we're back.
So, the BFGs have arrived at Daggerford. They are staying at the Lady Luck Tavern. They have 2 suite rooms. Voss and Harold have headed downstairs to talk a little bit about Voss's backstory, learn a little bit there, and
His ties to Daggerford.
And the ladies are upstairs performing a seance. And as they perform the seance, looking for D. Werstein, a possible tie to Seisha's mother or Seisha's mother herself. Not quite sure. They performed the seance, and in doing so, something possessed Vinley, and in a language they did not understand, but in their heads they hear, it feels so good to be back on the mortal plane. Thank you for this favor.
Seisha does something. What does Seisha do?
I cast protection from good and evil on her.
All right.
I am going full exorcist and my head spins around and looks you directly in the eyes.
Unless someone stops me,
Seisha.
that's what I do.
I don't stop you.
No. And then I say something really mean about your mom. I'm just kidding.
Seisha, I'm not sure about you, but that doesn't sound like anyone's mom.
I hope that's not my mom.
Why did this people have the same handwriting? I'm so confused.
This isn't. There's a chance she summoned something different, and I
this
think she
is
did.
devil.
Just for our sake and to keep things more streamlined, how about everybody, including the 2 guys, roll initiative?
Oh no!
They might get called up here.
I mean, if you're doing some shit,
The only
in
thing
here-
I'm going to be attacking is this bowl of almonds, all right?
Until the place gets set on fire, and then you might do more.
Yeah, well, then I might roast the peanuts. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Why not?
we may not give as much of a shit as you think.
All right. 25 to 20.
25.
Oh.
Oh, you give a huge shit, boss.
You are so on top of those nuts.
You are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all those
That
are
root
gone.
beer. That root beer has flavor.
You're hungry.
Yep. Let's rein it in. 20 to 15.
18.
18. All right.
17.
16. Harold, then.
Harold was 16.
He was 17.
Got it. And then
15 to 10.
15 to 10.
10.
Oh, they both got 10.
No, I got 11.
Oh,
I got 10 and I roll with advantage. Like this
I
is
rolled
just
2
ridiculous.
10 to 5.
8.
There it is.
Oh,
And that cleric life, yo.
Yep. And like all clerics, reigning in last.
Or like
It's
B
a
Dave
curse.
likes
When
to
you play
say.
a cleric, you roll low initiative. It's
Yeah. You know, my initiative, I actually have a bonus to it, but hey, yeah. Like B
Um,
Dave
but
likes to say, I'm not last in the first round. I'm first in the second round.
your held action of casting this goes off, and you watch the arcane script wrap around Vinley's like neck and wrists as and then like bleeds into her with divine light.
that is that. We're gonna start stopping around. Voss, you don't know anything's up yet. If that changes, we'll let you know.
We'll do.
Vinley, it is your turn to act. Go ahead and make me a charisma saving throw at advantage, as you have just had the protection cast upon you.
11.
Oh, it's a,
That you have +3 because you're near Seisha.
Also,
14.
also
and-
you are
and-
blessed.
Plus
And blessed.
D4 from bless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will note Vinley is blessed, not what is possessing
Yeah.
Vinley.
Yep.
17. 18?
17. Okay. And you actually watch as Vinley begins to stand up and goes to like start walking out the door. Before Vinley, you feel this presence inside of you, and you kind of, with the script of Ogma kind of blessing you and the fiery wings of the phoenix protecting you, you expel.
There's this ripping pain as everybody sees Vinley's throat just swell as her head rocks back, and ripping out from inside Vinley's mouth is a deep red arm covered in armored scales. It slowly and violently purges itself from her form, stretching her jaw to inhuman proportions, causing...
Fuck me up.
25 bludgeoning damage.
Oh
my God.
You really hit me. That was a joke, Devin.
Eventually emerging from her reveals a hulking monster with a whip-like tail and enormous wings that wrap around itself like a cloak. Its frightening hissing roar stabs at you with a forked tongue through teeth dripping with toxic ichor. We need everyone to make wisdom saving throws.
Including us who are not there.
Not yet.
Nope.
Okay.
Not yet.
We're busy down here. Like,
Oh, that's a 26.
really wish
Oh,
I could
do we
jump
hear this roar?
I'm sorry. I'm next to Seisha. 29.
What's your passive perception?
16.
I believe mine is also 16.
I'm gonna say, yeah, you definitely hear some
Okay.
like but then again, there was thunder, so maybe it's thunder, but it definitely sounded like inside the tavern. Did they have the windows open? Can they open the windows?
We will investigate on my next turn because I got no held action.
Yeah,
It's
Seisha,
enough
what's-
to investigate.
it's enough to investigate.
Okay.
What's Seisha? What's your bonus again?
+3.
Okay.
Good. I got
Uh,
a 29.
Okay, you're fine. Seisha,
25.
you're fine, and Orkira
32.
And
and
V.
V.
This is wisdom.
Wisdom
Yeah.
saving throw, yeah.
Do I get +3?
You do
Yeah.
get plus
You get +3 and you get the bless.
Oh, good. I get 13.
Is that
Oh,
with the D4?
wait. That's not with the D4. That is not with the D4. So right
Yeah.
now it's 13
Hashtag bless.
Be at least 14.
plus it's 15.
Oh,
You
Did I
stare
do
at
it?
this creature. You can't help but instinctively take a step back as you are riddled with absolute terror.
No.
You have never, aside from just staring into the deep void, this is just pure guttural evil.
It's
that
like
you
facing
can't
your dad.
God damn it. No, my.
And
Arcana check to see what type of.
Yeah,
creature-
I'd also like to see if I recognize
absolutely,
this
you can make an
creature.
Arcana check.
Another 18 because for some reason nines love Arcana.
I got
So I have frightened. I'm frightened.
You are in the frightened condition, correct? What'd you get, Vinley?
18.
And
8.
Seisha?
The
8.
same number that
8.
summoned him.
scholarly 8.
You know, Seisha, you know that this is a fiend of some kind. Could be
Okay.
demon, could be devil, could be Yugoloth. It's definitely a fiend, though.
Okay.
Vinley, you know it's definitely a devil, which are the lawful evil fiends known for their blood war with demons and manipulating mortals into double-edged infernal contracts. You
How the
also
hell?
know that this
Is a pit fiend.
This reminds me of my slumber parties growing up. So this pretty much checks out.
What have you done?
This is what happens in the movies when the little girls at the slumber party actually contact the devil.
What in the fuck have you done?
and you know
The pit fiend?
Good question.
Yeah. and you know that pit fiends are very, very powerful devils.
That's it. Next time we're just getting a Ouija board and calling it a day. Like, this is enough.
They are
Um,
They are known to be
Tell Smile.
undisputed lords of most other devils and to be generals for the Archduke and Archduchesses of the Nine Hells
Christ.
within the Blood.
Wow. All right.
You sure?
And
these were the-
there's 3 more pages of descriptions. Hold on for a second.
No, they only
All
got
of
that
them-
far.
Yep,
all of
yep.
the 3 pages are this thing is serious. This thing is super serious. This
So-
is serious.
We're
Yes, so
100%
serious.
sure that the windows don't open and it can't fit through it, and we can just ignore this problem.
At least we can contain it.
You just threw up a demon. You can't just ignore that problem.
It's
Yeah,
the devil.
you
Thank you very much.
Wait, is it possessing you or is it outside of you now?
It is outside.
It's outside.
Okay. I thought maybe
It's a
somehow you got
Bad move in
transformed.
reality.
No. This is better. Sadly, this is better.
No, it is.
Yeah,
It
we
is.
don't want to.
'cause
We don't want to kill Vinley.
Akira's got the BAMF.
Well, I'll try. We'll
Hopefully.
see.
Harold, it is technically your turn.
You hear the strange rumbling.
Roaring
Sounds like-
rumble.
I just give you a look that says, yeah, we got to do something about that. And I'm going to get up with Voss and we're going to I'm going to casually palm my knife as I'm like walking up, like, oh God, what the fuck?
What the hell is that?
I don't know. It sounded like thunder or something. Come on, I'm just going to check.
All right, I'll be behind you in a second.
All right. And he's going to head up the stairs with Voss.
All right, you can make it into the hallway, but not quite into the.
I'm not like running or anything. I'm just
Okay, you're
like,
just taking your normal movement. You're not. dashing.
normal movement.
Yeah,
I'm not
we don't
dashing.
know anything's wrong.
Yeah, you can get up the stairs and just to the door that opens up to the hallway that leads to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
I can't believe we summoned a pit fiend.
I mean, good on Vinley. Like
Our
wow.
slumber party.
Yeah, good for
I
you.
can
I'm so powerful.
It's a good slumber part. On
This
your
is your-
turn, on its turn, it will
Oh, it
kind of
goes early,
stretch.
too.
Oh, you have given me freedom from Zariel's zeal in the Asmodeus' blood war against the abyssal spawn. Do not squander this moment of power through granting me this favor. Simply let me leave, and I will be your servant.
Nope.
I feel
Wait.
like that's a double-edged sword right there.
I'm the
wanna
one
be-
who casted it.
So V just screeches at Orkira to burn it alive, get rid of it, because she's really freaked out and scared and is frightened.
Orkira will not correct her because Orkira knows enough to not use fire on this creature, but nods in agreement.
I don't think we can do that.
What do you mean?
We're just trying to have a slumber party.
Oh my god, fine, just pour water on it if you don't want to burn it, like drown it. I don't know.
And he starts casting a spell.
Can I quick shot Arcana it?
Sure.
Just so you know, the rules are that's going to cost your reaction.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to go with identifying as a reaction and counterspelling as a reaction.
Yep.
That way, you don't know what level to cast at.
Yep. So you can just attempt it if you want to counterspell it, or you can identify it to see what happens.
I wanna identify it because I don't necessarily think he's going to attack us outright after what he just said.
Okay.
So I got a dirty 20 on Arcana.
You do not know
Oh,
what he is casting.
High level.
that's higher than I can cast.
Yep. And as he finishes the cadence of the spell, he just goes, "Again, I thank you for freeing me and bringing me back to the mortal realm that I was bound from entering."
And you see hellfire just start to burn into the wood around him as these arcane sigils all start implementing themselves around him, engulfing him as this pillar of flame just starts to arise and causes it so you cannot see through it.
And just before, and go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, and as it burns away into embers, you see his form begin to burn away into embers with it.
And at the last second before he completely vanishes, you hear, "Umpucheska, I'm coming for you, my dear."
Who?
That's the last thing you hear before there is a flash of fire and nothing but brimstone and sulfur is left behind.
Well,
I
I see
recognize that
now
name?
why.
Sorry, Katie, go ahead.
Well, I see now why you couldn't. Burning it wasn't really the go-to thing.
Right. Could I roll a history on that name?
Yeah, I'd like to know if I recognize the name.
Was it Oomph Jessica or something?
Pucheska.
Pucheska.
Pucheska. Close enough.
What'd you
Are
get?
you serious?
Oh. I got a 25.
25?
Yeah.
I'm searching digital dice.
Jessica. I'm sorry. That one just hit me. That was a delayed fireball on my brain. Jessica.
Jessica. That's what it sounds like.
Thank you, Ethan.
Two things. What is everybody's passive insight that's in this room?
What's our
19.
passive insight? Oh shit, not much.
17.
11.
Okay.
Or
Kira.
I don't notice much.
Kira
19?
has a 19.
And then Vinley, what do you have?
14.
14?
I'm not
Okay.
very wise. I'm wise. I'm just not. I don't care if people are lying to me.
Seisha does not know the name Pucheska.
Right.
Vinley, what you get, because you barely hit the DC to know this, and that is somewhere around the Sword Coast. So the stretch of land that you know to be the Sword Coast, there was a succubus named Pucheska.
Oh.
Or Kira. This is important because he said the name with disdain.
Mm.
Oh, he's just coming. He was just looking for like his.
He was his girlfriend.
That is
thing.
not. Nope. Nope. That was not.
Oomph
That was-
Jessica isn't.
No, he said that as in I'm hunting down something, not I'm going to someone I'm excited to see. He's
Oh.
excited to go to this person and cause problems.
You guys, we just
Well, this
released
person-
Fiend.
But are they a bad person?
Hold on,
Maybe
hold
he's
on,
gonna
hold
go
on.
kill a bad person.
Yes, the person he's going to find.
He's
The lady.
He's still
Francesca.
a fiend. And he
That-
was served. Didn't he say? Who did he say he was serving? Didn't he say he was serving Asmodeus?
He was
Zariel
trapped
and
by-
Asmodeus.
Oh yeah. It's
Wait,
not good.
but maybe it's just demon on demon action.
Well, now he's my servant, so there we go.
Vinley, you
Well, then
don't.
teleport him back.
You don't want to continue to have a,
Yeah, don't.
contract with this
No.
thing. We need to take care of it without you having to call in that favor.
Are you guys okay in there? You need
Everything's
Everything's fine. Shut up, Harold.
No,
What?
it's not fine.
It's really bad. Come in.
Did
He looks back at Voss.
I draw weapons.
Yeah, I
Walk in.
Hey guys, we summoned a demon and it went to go kill its girlfriend.
It was a devil.
It was a devil. It was a fiend. It was a devil, apparently.
I
the
shut the
defense.
door quickly behind
Yeah,
us
yeah.
and looked back at Voss like in complete disbelief, as if like looking to him to see if he knew they were doing this.
Is the floor still scarred?
Oh yeah, the floor's
It's
still
okay.
scarred and it smells like brimstone.
We only did it in the spirit of the slumber party.
How?
What are you guys?
So you do at slumber parties, you summon
How?
demons and spirits.
It's a seance.
And
Why is
as
she
you're having this
roasting?
conversation, that sigil begins to ignite once again in the floorboards.
Nobody
Oh,
freak
God.
out.
Oh! And I'm gonna look around for the big thing of water for the bathroom. And I'm
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Water!
I'd like to rush forward and try to scratch through that sigil to.
wait.
Wait.
I just want everyone to know that this is a general of the 9 hells. We can't do anything to hurt him.
Yeah, I scratched that shit.
Wait. Seisha.
What?
Can I stop
Yeah,
her before
yeah.
she? If it's coming back, we need to let it come back, or else we have to hunt this thing down across the Sword Coast.
Wait.
We cannot let this thing be loose on the Sword Coast. If it's coming back, let it come back.
can't begin to tell you all how absolutely flabbergasted, shocked, and ashamed I am.
Well, get
Matt,
over fast,
and-
Harold.
As you all are having this argument, it all erupts from embers into flames as it catches from in pure hellfire. And this portal into one of the layers of hell opens. And as you look on in horror, it's like standing next to a furnace.
And only Orkira has felt such skin-flaying heat before, and oddly finds herself in a disposition of enjoying the extreme warmth, but hating where it comes from.
I've been to Avernus before. I know this
Yep.
heat.
Oh no, is Zariel about to reach her little hand through here?
We're about to find out.
Everybody back away from the portal.
No, I'm standing right there. I want to be able to banish whatever's coming through.
Am I still frightened?
The heat is almost unbearable for the rest of you, but it is the tortured screams of lost and damned souls echoing out that burns into you down to the core. And not soon after, a backlit, lithe figure begins hobbling its way into the room. The seared flesh, now like old tanned leather, clings to his bones, making him more skeleton than man.
Oh, hey.
And you look down to see a trail of blood profusely pouring from the shards of glass embedded into his gangly soles of his feet as he winces with every step. You cannot see his eyes or hear his words as you notice both are sewn together, but it is not to blind or mute him, but instead to keep the bullet ants inside as you notice a few worm their way out from between the seams. At first, you feel sorry for the amount of pain this soul is enduring until everyone but Orkira recognizes him. It is hard to tell what it is that reminds you, as it is more just a knowing feeling, but you see the serial elf killer who wore the skins of his victims after fashioning them into magical articles of elven kind.
Can I push him back through the portal?
And as he does, boop, he holds out.
No, he
Sorry.
turns.
Yep.
And scrawled across his back, seared into his flesh, is infernal wordings. And you see the name Baazka etched into it in an empty slot.
And and as you look at it, you watch as your signature in blood carves into his back.
Whose?
Who, me?
Yes, yours.
Who am I?
Baazka.
Yep. Baazka.
And you watch as he then collapses back through the portal and it closes.
Can I roll an Arcana? What just happened? What was that?
Sure,
Yeah,
go ahead
I'd
and make
like
an
to as
Arcana check.
well.
Can you just give me advantage on it?
Just give me advantage.
I knew nothing. I got a 13.
I got a 17.
Can I try to
that a
help Finley
contract?
since
Yeah,
I've
you can, of course, absolutely.
since I don't have any Arcana, but since I've been to Avernus.
Yep.
I'm like giving you little
Yeah.
bits of information about what I remember.
Worse.
Oh.
So you
I'm
got a
surprised.
17?
17.
Yeah.
And as you're trying to figure out, you look, and as he falls away, you notice that the layer of flesh that this was carved in has fallen onto the floor at your feet.
Oh no.
Don't touch it.
Why would I?
Wait, I can identify it.
What the actual fuck?
I cast Identify on that bit of skin.
Okay.
It is an infernal contract set between one Vinley Galanodel and one
Baazka?
Pit Fiend General and Lord of Dragonspear Baazka.
Well, we have his name now.
Well, first
Finley,
the
it's a
Fae,
contract.
now this.
It's a contract, Venley.
And the I'll give you this on the identified. The contract in terms states that
Basically, overall, it is do not interfere with the Pit Fiend General directly or indirectly on purpose from the moment the contract is signed and into the foreseeable future. Do not subvert Baazka's plans directly or vicariously in exchange for 1 minute within 9 days of servitude. If violation of the contract occurs, you see very vague but ominously bad things happening, but you focus on what the Identify gives you is that
There's lines like a measure of strength, wisdom, and character to be given if the contract is rescinded or broken.
But there's nowhere in the contract doesn't dictate what that entails. And then the most concerning line is the eternally damned soul is made forfeit upon rescission or breaking of contract. It is unclear if that means the soul is already damned or if they are damned upon breaking the contract.
But you get that she's not signed it yet. This is an offering, right?
Oh, it is.
Seisha?
It is signed in her handwriting.
Because
I
the reason why you
Oh.
said, I am the
Yeah.
one that brought him here, and you all let him leave.
Well, I didn't have a reaction. That's the only reason I didn't let him leave. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was gonna teleport.
I was frightened. So
Is the portal still open?
No, it is. It has closed. It was literally open just enough for the contract to fall at Vinley's feet.
So I get a minute within the next 9 days of servitude from the Spit Fiend?
Yep.
But
Well, my
it's-
soul's already promised to Jergal, so he's gonna have to take it up with him.
Gave your word, Vinley, in a roundabout way.
she didn't mean to.
And I don't intend on breaking it
Things don't care.
within the next 9 days.
Finley, is it only you or is it any of us?
It's just my name on the.
It's only her.
But
does
if she allows us to go through with plans to thwart him, then she is violating the contract.
Then we won't go after him. And then she looks at Seisha and just gives like a wink.
Sorry, Katie's laughing. Seisha's horrified.
What in the fuck was any of this? Why did you do this?
We thought it was Seisha's mom.
We were trying to reach Seisha's mom.
We're in, a,
Bazka. Oh, sorry.
we're in a city that we don't know with rules that we know are stricter, and you're summoning shit.
Well, she has done like 8 seances with nothing bad
I literally
happening.
saw
like-
hell. I literally just saw hell. That's
We
what
have
just
been a
happened.
part of 2 seances, and both times something has gone wrong.
That's not true. This is the second time I have done a seance where something has gone wrong.
Out of like
So
10.
we're flipping a. How many seances? How many seances has she done with us being present?
She has done 3 total. One was done by Mama Uwe. So it's right now the odds are 50-50. There are very strict reasons as to why things are happening.
Harold, you don't have to yell at us. You can't make us feel
I'm
any
not
worse than we
yelling at
already
you. I'm
do.
fucking terrified. We just saw hell. Hell was in this room.
Yeah.
I'm not. Oh my god.
I
What
turn
the
to
fuck?
Okira and I point to the contract and I say, "How do we dispel this? How do we get rid of it?"
We can't.
Well, first of all, we tell Vinley nothing. Because we don't want her accidentally breaking her contract.
I'm going to go take my back flush and take a bath. And think about what has just transpired. Goodbye. And she'll collect her back skin and put it in her bag of holding.
Her back skin.
If we,
Hey,
So
Finley,
upsetting.
before you go, when you get a chance, can you transcribe the full details of that for us? Not now, later. Okay.
I can. I've got
And
perfect memory.
It is written in Infernal. Just so
I don't.
Vinley, leave it with me and I can translate it for you.
All right, very well. It doesn't matter much to me. It's
Seisha
just
pulls
my
out a
soul.
notepad and a book and uses knowledge of the ages to know the language and write it out in common. Actually, I'll write it out in Elven because this is kind of her business.
And it is tedious work and will take the entirety of the 10 minutes that you
Mhm.
have allotted.
it's not. No. How long does knowledge of the ages
10
last?
minutes.
It is 10 minutes. Okay, yeah. Sorry, not counting.
So 10 minutes, and it is the reason why is because it is very
Oh,
legal jargon.
stipulated. Yeah.
Legal jargon, double speak, all
Yep.
of that kind of situations.
When during that time, we'll kind of give the brief rundown on what happened, and then Orkir will ask Seisha,
The contract states that Vinley's supposed to get this.
Give me a minute. I have to finish. I have to concentrate on this.
Okay.
Fuck. This is some neat shit.
Vinley's drowning herself in the bathtub right now. Not actually to full death, but what her usual used to routine of holding herself underwater until she can't.
Okay. I had a moment where I'm like,
What do we do?
I don't think we can.
This is out of my realm of expertise, and you've traveled. I'm talking to Akira when I say this, but like to open to the room, you've dealt with more of these things than we have.
It's complicated and difficult, and if we do the wrong thing, Vinley loses her soul.
I just don't understand how trying to contact Seisha's mom became a pit fiend. I'm still having such a hard time connecting these dots. Do you think your mom was involved with pit fiends?
No, I think it's something with the seance. I think. Remember how the last time when we tried to do a seance and something didn't go the way it was supposed to, and we ended up with that other person? And then
that was a lot different. I feel like
it was, but it's the same idea. I don't know all the details. I'd have to ask. That's something that Vinley could tell you more about.
Okay.
Well, I think it's official that this is probably the worst slumber party of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got the name of this thing. It's probably not its true name, but it's a good enough name that I can hunt it down.
You said that when it showed up, it said the name of Pacheska and then disappeared like it was like going to get this lady, right? So if we think about it from that perspective, then it's likely that whatever it has planned has nothing to do with her harming innocent people. And
I don't know.
The less we know, the better. Our hands are tied in this situation, but it's not really our situation
I'm
at all.
going to send word to Nigel.
It was mentioned that...
You can't send word to Nigel. If you send word to Nigel, it might compromise Vinley.
No, because she doesn't know about it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. She has to be knowledgeable of it.
It doesn't matter in that we cannot take any chances. The fiend is going to interpret things however it wants to interpret things. And
So if we ignore this completely after 9 days, it's done.
Well, we're waiting on Seisha to finish to find out for sure.
The wording in this is her obligation to not do anything against it for the 9 days, or is it eternal?
That is eternal. The 9 days is the servitude that he is offering, but is only available within the first 9 days.
She can never do anything against it. It's not just a 9-day mark.
But the rest of the 9-day thing, it's just like
That's
he'll
the
listen
days
to her.
that's how long she has to use its favor.
That's not fair.
Well, it's a pit fiend.
It's a devil.
These contracts never are. And
These
the
things
rate-
suck. We didn't even ask for it, man.
Okay. So
Man, fuck magic.
the
This is
question
ridiculous.
has to become, how do we end, I suppose, Vinley's semi-servitude to this thing? Would killing it do it?
I guess be a god. I don't know.
You have to make another bargain.
No, that's
With
not
it?
necessarily true.
Well, what happens if we obliterate it?
That's
It
what I'm
goes
saying.
back. Don't they?
No. Well, there's a difference between killing it.
Your roll
and-
wasn't good enough to know.
Okay.
I'm sure
That's
there's
fine.
probably a difference between killing it and then undoing it.
It's either one of the kinds of fiends just goes back and re-enters the fight. I think that's devils, but
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I can't say the name, but I don't know where that thing that took my leg is. But if we used the one favor we have for 1 minute to go deal with that, and then it just disappears in the red, well, who's to say what happened?
We can't call in that favor. We can't utilize a pit fiend for anything.
Then we're not utilizing it. We have to use the favor to trick it into getting killed.
Killing it won't remove.
Obliterating it,
affect it.
erasing it. We have to send it against something that isn't going to kill it in a traditional means. It's going to erase it from existence.
So we send it against the Elder Eye.
I mean,
Everyone,
I
there's
don't-
nothing we can do tonight. We are out of our depth. Even
Hey.
you, I think. I look at Okira. We're going to need to discuss this with people whose measured is much closer to this. Asking won't be a problem.
That's why I want to get a hold of Nigel.
I don't have a problem with that so long as Harold has a point. If Nigel goes after this thing in any way, I don't know how the demon will interpret it. You need to be vague, and you need to ask an indirect question. Can you do that?
About what? Like, what do you
About
want me-
whatever the hell this thing is, or if we encountered something demonic, who we should go to for help.
I'll write to the Savant for that.
Whatever the case is, I agree with Harold. I don't know anything about demonic contracts, but if it's always in the favor of the demon, then it can interpret it how it pleases. And if we do anything to impede it, then it has Vinley's soul.
I will say the little that I know about this is less how it interprets it and more that the contracts are usually written in a way that it only can be interpreted for their benefit. So that's why the contract is so important.
The plan hasn't changed, and it might be best for now to continue about our business until something does.
Hey,
Just-
Seisha,
I can write to Nigel and ask if he knows how to break a contract.
Just leave out the pertinent details.
Right.
It's not a bad idea. Just leave those parts out.
All right.
does the
Actually, I could send him ascending. I still have the ability to do one more tonight. I could get a more immediate answer. I can let him know and ask him to send me a paper bird with details.
In the catalog of everyone's connections, who could you talk to?
Petunia.
There you go. Once again, vague wordings, but for now, let's just take it as an information gathering thing. So
Ask
whatever,
Down tomorrow.
excellent. Fiomiliana, if there's anyone you know specifically who might be able to know something about this, Okira, same.
The key thing here is that we can't let Vinley know any of this is happening.
I agree.
She can't even infer that this is happening.
All we're doing is getting information. We're not doing anything. We're not proceeding forward to antagonize this creature, whatever it may be. We're just information gathering.
When you guys, after the game, can you guys provide me a copy of the details of the contract so that as we weasel this, we can do so in a means that I can try to not break it?
I will legal up a real contract.
Yes.
Thank you.
100% want a copy of this
Thank
so I can hang it on my wall and be like, haha, I sold my soul to the devil.
A devil.
A devil, one of many.
I'm calling him the devil.
Hopefully you haven't actually sold it yet. Right now, you still own your soul.
I mean, technically, we contacted Devil Worse.
The eternally damned soul.
Hail Satin.
I mean,
That's
something
part
has
of
already
obviously.
come after my soul once. I'm just putting that out there, and it didn't work.
In any case, I think we can all agree no more unsupervised seances.
The sad thing was it wasn't an unsupervised seance.
The ones that
you're
have
right.
gone the ones that have gone well seem to have been done by somebody who's a little more intricate in it. I'm not saying Venley's incompetent, but Mama Uwe clearly knows what she's doing a bit more than she does.
Yeah.
If we're ever going to do this again, it needs to be with the support of someone who's into this shit, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Agreed. This was my fault. I asked for it.
Not anyone's fault. It happens.
Whatever the case, we can do fuck all tonight. So.
And it's not like I would have told you not to do it.
It's true.
It's like
I didn't say anything against
we're all
it.
adults, and we knew the risks, but clearly we just didn't know how deep the risks ran, and so we have another problem on our hands. It's
I
not
thought
like
it was just ghosts. I didn't realize you could pull things like this.
hey, it's not something we can't handle. We're just gonna have to put our brains to it when we're all slept and relaxed. And someone needs to check on Vinley.
I'll go. I gotta take her the contract anyways. And
I just want to be clear that I'm not upset with any of you guys. I mean, it sucks, this situation. This sucks. But I mean, like, I've done stupid things at sleepovers. It's fine.
Yeah. After Seisha leaves, V turns to the rest of the group and goes, "Hey, I think Harold, maybe someone needs to hyper convince Finley we're doing nothing. She just can't have any knowledge that anything's happening at all, period, even gathering information. And I think she's going to immediately just suspect that we're going to try to be doing something.
I don't want to do that. There's a very specific reason that I don't want to manipulate Vinley specifically.
But it's her soul is on the line.
We'll take this one step at a time.
That it's crossing a line. It's crossing a line. I can't do it. There's a very specific reason. I promised her, and I can't do it.
You can't lie to somebody to save somebody.
Not Vinley, not her.
We don't need to lie to her. We just need to not tell her anything, and she knows.
But
she's smart enough to know.
I know, but withholding information is lying. But it
is, but.
We'll have a better idea of this in the morning. As soon as we can confirm that Vinley is all right, I'm going to bed. There's little else to be done tonight.
Seisha knocks on the bathroom door. Finley?
No answer.
Seisha goes in the bathroom.
Around the edge of the tub, you see all three of her familiars are just kind of looking down into the tub, and the water is still in the bathtub.
Finley? Seisha drops the thing and runs in and just grabs Finley by the shoulders and pulls her out of the water. Finley?
Hello?
Oh, you scared me.
I was bathing.
You were laying under the water and your familiars were looking at you like they were worried about you, and I got worried about you.
They're there more for me so that I can know when I'm about to lose consciousness because they'll disappear.
Oh.
Yes.
That's handy. Why are you okay?
I'm perfectly fine. I'm just wet and naked. Oh, I should probably let you know that your mother's alive. The spell worked. It should have connected to the person that we were trying to reach, but it brought him instead. And I'm very cold.
Well, come on, get out. Seisha will grab a towel.
Oh, I meant the air was cold. I've made the water excruciatingly warm.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I better get used to it. And she dips her head back into the water.
And Seisha will put the towel back on the rack. And I'll just set this here. Then she sets the contract on the counter.
All the familiars are just kind of watching you.
And well, see you later. She walks out of the bathroom and goes back to the room.
She's gonna be there for a little bit.
How is she?
I think she's upset.
I would
Gathered that
be
much.
surprised if she wasn't.
She's scalding herself.
I bet she's probably just trying to get used to it.
I mean, that sounds great to me, but are we sure that's okay for her?
Was she in pain or?
No, not physical pain. The water was really, really hot. Like I grabbed her because she was submerged and I got scared.
We're gonna have to give her some time and maybe a little bit of distance on this. This is an interesting situation we found ourselves in, and it's hard to say how to proceed forward. But for now, let's distract ourselves with what we need to do tomorrow, but keep this in the back of our minds. All right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I am going to sleep. And I will head over into the opposite room and prep to go to bed.
All right. Easy enough to do. What are the rest of you doing?
Seisha pulls out her quill and starts writing messages, 25-word messages, and scratching out and editing and rewriting as I try to figure out how to phrase this.
Harold is going to head downstairs, and is Glennis still sleeping at one of the tables?
Yeah. He's
going to kind of poke her on the boot. Glennis, hey. No, you're fine. You don't have to move or anything.
Is it morning?
No, not yet. I just want to know if it'd be okay if I just played some soft music in the corner over there, if that would bother you too much. I'll keep it real, like, lullaby shit.
And you see her, like, look around at the empty tavern and then look up at the, like, groggily look up at the other doors. Who are you playing for?
That's a great question. It'd be real quiet.
Keep it low. Don't wake the other guests.
I won't. And he will
make it something soft.
Yeah. And I'll make a performance check. And
that's actually funny that Harold wanted to do that, because Vinley's next move was to go downstairs and try and procure alcohol.
Yeah, V is about to go downstairs for a drink.
Yeah.
I rolled a 15. Yeah, that was a 2 I rolled.
Right.
Harold is perturbed.
Yeah, your thoughts are elsewhere, and it's been a interesting, like, roller coaster of an evening. Boss opening up a bit, and then this, but you do play, and it's soft. It's still good. I mean, not your best, but still a very decent melody. And as you play, V makes her way down as Glennis is starting to drift back off and sees that and just goes, I'm up.
Gets up and goes, how can Lady Luck help you? What time is it?
It's late.
Oh my god, that got me.
She's speaking to V. How can Lady Luck help you?
Oh, I'll just take what's the strongest drink you have?
Oh, I mean, it's all kind of about the same. We have bitter root beer, Czar, sherry, and white ale.
Let's go with you said bitter root beer? Just like a tall glass of that.
Let's do it.
2 silver.
Okay.
Gives you a tankard.
Yep. And it's a smoky flavor. Very.
Yeah, she gives her 3 silver.
Nods and.
You want some salted nuts?
Sure.
And she'll hand you a bowl of salted nuts.
And then V immediately goes, oh wait. Like in her head, she's thinking how she like doesn't actually want salted nuts. She just thought she wanted salted nuts, and now that it's here, she's like, oh damn, I shouldn't have got
Harold will just point
nuts
at the table in front of him, like seeing her dilemma. He knows immediately what's going on. He just points at the table in front of him, like, you just leave him here.
It's the salted nuts to Harold. You know how you do.
He's
food you don't need.
How you do.
He's gonna look at her as she's about to leave and like, hey, are you okay?
Me? Looks around at the empty room.
Yeah, and he looks around the empty room at her and he's like, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that's about
I
right.
have no idea really what happened or how.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sorry I asked you to lie to Vinley.
no,
I'm just scared of her, being
No, I totally understand.
burned in hell forever or something,
Yeah, it's not I can't explain it because I promised her I also wouldn't tell people this sort of thing. It's a thing, but I totally understand. In any normal circumstances, I'd be first in line to do that, but in this particular circumstance, I can't. So I'm not upset about it. It's fine. I'm just making sure, after all that horrible, awful shit, that you're okay.
Yeah, I just, want to make sure she doesn't end up like that other guy.
Like me?
Huh?
Like me?
No, the guy with the ants in his mouth with the crisscross.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I don't
and
want to end up like that either.
skin
Right now,
falling off, and
I've got a dragonfly thing going on, way cooler than ants. So,
your dragonfly thing actually is cooler.
Yeah, thank you.
And shockingly less scarier, but like a lot more ominous.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Hey, take it easy. If you need anything, just let me know. I'm gonna be down here playing for a little while.
Okay.
And to answer your question, Vinley is going to wait until she stops hearing people moving around and then slink downstairs.
So, Orkira's gonna wait until you come out dressed in the whatever the common room is.
Sat there quietly, and I was like, "She's gone."
Yeah, Seisha's staying up too. I mean,
Yeah, because Orkira is planning on sleeping in the other room, but she's basically sitting on the couch. When you come out, you'll find her. She's got something in her hand that she's playing with, and she's just kind of waiting for you. So, unless you try to sneak past.
No, she opens the door.
Hey.
Hey.
You got a second?
No, I have many more than seconds.
Well, it's a nice thing to ask.
And Orkira will come on over and say,
you mind if I heal that? You got hurt during all of that.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, my throat's a little sore.
Yeah.
And she'll cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level. So you'll get, oh, what a horrible, horrible roll. 14 health back. And the way that she does it is she's holding a pebble in her hands, and she holds out her hand to take yours, and the fire kind of cascades over your hand and then up and heals. But when she withdraws her claws, you've got a pebble in your hand. It's a small gray pebble. It looks like it's been rubbed for a while. And she says,
wanted to give that to you. I got another one. Penelope gave me 2 of them. So I thought you might want one because there's anyone who knows anything about what just happened, it's actually Penelope. She knows a lot. And I just wanted you to know, I know we don't see eye to eye on the whole undead thing, but your soul's really important. Don't lose that.
I don't intend to.
Good. I don't intend to lose your soul either. But I wanted you to have that because the last time we had to deal with stuff like this, she gave me one. She gave me one, and she gave me one another time. So, yeah. I hope that makes you feel better. Is that dumb? I don't know. It made me feel better.
Oh, of course. How big is the pebble?
it's small. It's
like this big.
It's like a little less than palm sized on a dragonborn. She's been using it as a worry stone. And she's got a second one. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay. But it's just a really unremarkable gray pebble that's now been worn down. And she'll say,
that was it. I just want to make sure you were healed and don't do anything to lose your soul.
I haven't in almost 300 years. This is a first for me. I'll try to not do it again. And she'll tuck the pebble into her her holster where she keeps her wands hidden away, like up inside of there.
Yeah, it's sadly not a first for me, but it doesn't matter because your soul is super important. That's it. I'm gonna go collapse now.
And then
Go get
she'll
some.
awkwardly start to walk away because I think Seisha said she was there too, and she's assuming that Seisha probably wants a moment. So
Seisha just gets up and walks over to Venli and just wraps her arms around her.
She hugs her back.
Just
You
wanted.
don't have to be so sad. I haven't died.
I know. I love you.
I love you too, and I don't need constant reassurance of that.
I know. It's for me too.
Oh. Well, very well then. Tell me all about how much you loved me, I guess.
Okay, so I love the way that you're smarter than me.
I was actually
Now
going
it
to
is
go to bed.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna jump out and do a thing, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Of course, I was gonna head down to the bar first, because if I go to sleep now, it'll be off.
Yeah, okay. I'll go to bed then. You go downstairs and do your thing. I think V's down there.
I will say hello to her. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And she'll head downstairs.
Seisha's
Probably-
going to cast Sending.
All right. Vinley goes out and heads down to the bar. And what do you say to your sending? And who are you sending it to?
To Nigel. Nigel, it's Seisha. How can a person break an involuntary contract with a pit fiend? Can you send me a paper bird with details?
Go ahead and roll a D100 because it's
Shit, I was worried about that. That means they
Saddest
want the paper
part of
bird.
it. That's the saddest part of that.
How about a 3?
A 3.
A 3.
Oh no.
And the phoenix
Did
appears
you
because
not?
you.
All right.
Goes straight to the
Another
pit fiend.
Sending goes off. And you
What
get
is,
no
this is a
reply.
real dick move, you guys. We literally just talked.
Just there.
I was just hanging out.
but yeah, the sending goes off and you get no reply.
My pit fiend soul contract.
Things that you know from that, knowing how the spell works, you know that he is not on this plane, and it did not go through.
Well, looks like I'll try again tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. That was such a specific question. Into such specific information.
Well, it needs to be specific because he's going to ask for details. So
It was really good. There's just a 5% chance that they don't make it across planes.
Yep. And don't you know it? I have apparently personally wronged D&D Beyond.
I
Your
have more
dice
paper
are
birds
not-
if you
your
want to
dice are not
try.
loving me today.
Okay. All right. So, Vinley, you make your way downstairs, and
I'd probably pass a V on the way up.
yeah, you see her groggily making her way back upstairs.
I just
Hey.
wave at her.
Do you know how a demon got summoned instead of a ghost?
I always knew there was a chance that something else was going to come through.
How? I just don't understand
Well,
it.
think about it when Seisha heals you,
Mm-hmm.
or when Kira or Seisha does the zone of truth that we like a lot, that Harold doesn't like. You willingly open yourself to that magic. When I do a seance, am willingly opening myself to what I hope is the person I'm calling forward. It's like standing in a crowded room at waiting for a caravan or something. Everyone's trying to get on the same caravan and they've only called one name. Sometimes it gets drowned out in the noise and someone else hops on and takes the ride. It just happens sometimes.
But so devils and demons and stuff are. I just thought that seances were just for like spirits.
In some ways, devils are spirits, but that's neither here nor there. it's really to the planes at large, if that makes sense. I shout out into a big abyss, and luckily with my magic, I will always get an answer. It's just not always the answer that I wanted, and that's okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm having a hard time how the intention could be someone like Seisha's mom, and then it makes me feel like her mom was involved with demons. Devils.
No, well, we don't know, but it was not my fault. It was simply a fact that there was no target. Going back to the caravan analogy, I called out her name. She just wasn't there, so someone else pretended to be her and hopped aboard.
So her mom is alive?
As far as I can tell, yes. There was no one to receive my call.
I see. Okay.
And the biggest thing to take into account with my magics are circumstances like location. So this place must have a very heavy fiendish tie. Like when we tried to reach the other dead person, that went poorly. We got someone who was dead because we were in a crypt, I believe. My memory's fuzzy right now, and I would like a drink.
No, for sure. Okay.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sleep tight. And she'll continue downstairs.
Harold was playing softly in the corner.
You make your way down, you see
Glynis now awake, but just barely. She's waiting at the bar with her head resting on her hand. What can Lady Luck do for you?
Do you have like a bottle of wine?
Czar. Sherry. Czar or Sherry? And then she opens up her eyes a little bit more. Sorry, Sherry. I know elves don't really like Czar.
You know what? It's a special kind of day. Let's get both. I'll try them.
The bottle's going to be a gold.
Of course, I'll take the Czar and the Sherry.
2 gold.
I'll give her 3.
Harold's gonna walk up beside her and be like, "That is a lot of drink. I didn't realize the slumber party was still going."
Oh no, I'm just waiting out my next 4 hours before I have to go to sleep to keep up with you all.
Is that what all that ruckus is?
Of course. Yes, we were throwing a party upstairs. It was a hell of a time.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Sinister how much fun we're having up there. Listen, can we...
Downright evil.
If we could just...
We still have a sigil burned into her floor, you know.
I got mending. That's gone. I got
okay.
I'm gonna start heading up the stairs with you if that's the direction you're going.
Oh, I'm going to a table.
All right, then I will go to the table with you, and I'll sit down, and I will look over at you and be like, "It's okay. I was playing like trash anyway."
I couldn't even hear it. That's a shame.
You know, it's basically bad luck for an elf to drink Czar.
Is it?
You should let me handle that bottle. That way you only have the one bottle to handle.
Sounds good to me, Harold.
And Harold will drink with her and try to keep her from drinking too much.
She drinks way too much.
I assumed. Harold does not, for once. Harold is going to stay sober, and when you are drunk as a skunk, he will help you back upstairs towards your bed.
You know, Harold, you're a nice person.
I try to be. I don't want the world to beat the friendliness out of me.
It's so easy to do that. Have you ever tried?
With beating the friendliness out of people? I imagine that's probably pretty easy if they're being friendly.
Or just beating someone into submission.
I wish I could say I've never done that sort of thing.
Oh. Cool.
Are you gonna be okay?
I always am.
That is such a lie, and you're bad at it.
I'm hurt, Harold. That hurt.
I would imagine that whatever happened to your neck probably hurt a lot worse.
You should have seen it.
I'm glad I didn't.
I couldn't really see it. All I saw was a hand coming out of my mouth. And then a body, and then a head. And then legs and feet, if you could imagine it.
I don't want to imagine that. That's disgusting. I literally can't think of anything worse than feet in my mouth as they're leaving it.
That's why I burned every part of my body clean.
But I knew a guy in college who would have paid $1 million gold for. Anyway, the whole point of what I'm trying to get here is that, like, you don't need to be okay all the time.
I was not okay for so long, Harold. Why would I ever pretend to not be okay?
Because sometimes, even for liars, it's just better to be honest with yourself, or you can't go forward.
But hypothetical situation. What if it hurts more to be honest with yourself than it does to lie to yourself constantly?
It doesn't hurt more. It's just all at once instead of torturing yourself for months at a time, years at a time, for you, centuries.
For sure. Of course, I get that.
What I'm saying is, eventually you got to rip that Band-Aid off, Finley. It's okay to be scared and nervous, and it's okay to accept that things are out of your control or that you've made a mistake. Nobody's perfect. And you know what? That makes you even better.
She finishes the bottle. Could I, since we're being honest?
Sure.
I think Seisha and Arkira think that I did it unwillingly. I could have stopped him, but I didn't want to. I wanted his power, so I took it. What does that mean?
It means you're scared. It means you are scared. And if you want me to be angry about it, or if anybody in this group is the one that has the least right to be upset, it's me. I went from murderer, serial killer, all the way to
your soul is promised to everyone in their kitchen sinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a fair point, Harold. I haven't thought of that. My soul is promised to Mistra, Jergal, and now Basilcal. I don't know how to say his name. Do you?
Bozka. It's Bozka.
Bozka?
Do you? I know that you know the severity of what's happened today because you're drunk, and you wouldn't be drunk if you didn't know.
I'm not that drunk.
You feel guilty about what you did.
Do you remember what I said a long time ago?
Yeah, every word.
Not that. After we came back from that weird experience in the Far Realms, and I told you I had a vision of killing you all, I told you that I didn't regret doing it. I regret not feeling bad about doing it. This is a very similar situation. I saw how much Arkira was angry, and I didn't care at all. That's the scary part, Harold, is I don't care what happens. I just have more power now. And that's what excites me for some reason. Maybe I am a monster.
It depends on what it is you want power for. If you want power for power's sake, you're going down a path that's very averse to the one that you told me you really wanted, which was to become an undead being that it wasn't a lich. today was a step in the direction of a lich. What's more important to you, power or the reason you want it? Do you want to be powerful just for the sake of nothing can threaten you anymore and no mistakes can haunt you? And do you think strength forgives all? Because that's not how strength works at all.
No, I want to be able to keep them safe.
If you, when you're fishing, right? I used to fish in the river, in the water, or wherever, you know, just anywhere I could fish, right? Like, and because I didn't have money for the pole at the time I was a kid, I would use my hands. And so you'd get in there and you'd like throw some bait in, you'd get your hands in the water.
My friends would turn into bears to do that. Yeah.
I can't do that, so I used my hands. Bare hands, no less, but not bare hands. Anyway, so I get in there, and when you put your hands in the water, the first thing you notice is that everything's kind of jilted, right? When you look down in the water, they're not, your hands aren't where they actually are. Your eyes are perceiving, and it's all science shit that I can't understand. But
there's a name for it, but I can't remember it currently.
But you're unsure there at first because you're not really sure where your hands are. And so when you finally get the fish to where you can grab them, you want to grab tight with everything you have because you don't want to lose lunch for the day. So you grab real tight and they slip right through.
Oh, yeah.
They slip right through. And you're so focused on where your hands are and trying to hold on to what you have and not letting it go under any circumstances. This is my lunch for today and I need this. I haven't eaten in days. But you try too hard, you work too much, and it slips right through your fingers. And I'm discovering adventuring's a lot like that. It's when you want people to live and you try so hard to protect them, you start thinking, I can prevent things from happening. You start trying to solve problems before they've started, and you live a life that's unfulfilling and leaving you scared all the time. You can't be scared for these people. Vinley, the painful truth is, even if you kept us safe forever, you're going to outlive all of us. And that's a painful truth, but it is what it is, you know? And I don't want you to look back on the time with us as a time of filled with worry because you found people you loved and cared about for all this time in your life, begging and wanting people who wanted to know how you felt and who cared about who you were and genuinely cared about everything that you were. And then that whole time you spend fretting over these people instead of enjoying it. We're one step in a beautiful life that you're going to lead. And I want to believe in that enormous life of all the things you do. I don't want you to turn into something bad when we're gone. I don't want to see you turn into something bad while we're here because of us, because of me. I am not worth giving up who you are. You have to have more respect for yourself than that. I don't think what you did today is okay, but I understand, and I wish you would just stop worrying so much. It's not like Voss says all the time. Sometimes really incredible things happen. Sometimes stories do come true, and these people have done things that are unbelievable, and they're still doing things that are unbelievable, and I believe in all of them. You should too. Not because you've just been betrayed.
Would you give up everything if it meant Petunia could be safe?
I think there's things Petunia wouldn't want me to give up.
Okay.
I think that there's lines. And sometimes it's just people's time to go. I think of the Castellaners every day. Them apologizing to me on the way to the gallows. But sometimes it's just people's time to go. And no matter how much you want to save them, you can't. And all they can say is, I'm sorry, and that's all you can say back. And if we go, We went doing what we could to make this place a little bit better. And I don't want to see you corrupted because of how difficult it was. You're better than that. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Thank you. I didn't want to start crying tonight either. Perhaps we should both sleep this off.
It's a great idea. Am I playing shit anyway? Come on, I'll help you up into bed.
Thank you. I don't know which bed I'm assigned to.
I'm pretty sure it's slumber party room, so I will take her up to... Oh, what was that?
I said very well.
Oh, and I will take her up to her bed and put her in it and tuck it in, get everything all set, and I will pat her twice on the head awkwardly because he doesn't really know what to do from here, and he's like, well... And he gives her finger guns, and then he walks back to his room and takes this very, very small amount of Zar he's drank, and he puts the bottle down. He's like, I know why elves don't like it. And he's going to shut the door.
The last thing Vinley does tonight is she will cast Sending, and then she won't say anything. She'll just let it go out. She'll go to start saying something a couple times, and then the spell will just fizzle and be expended.
Who do you send it to?
Fala Lafalier.
Okay.
And despite hushed tones and words being caught in your throat in a long, awkward silence, you get, I hope you're okay. Good night.
She stifles a scream because she wants nothing more than to scream right now. She's just going to cast Flock of Familiars again and have all three of them under her covers and just lay there for a little while longer and then fall asleep with them until they dissipate.
Lay there before drifting into your trance.
Yeah.
It has been a very, very long day for everyone.
As you all can take a long rest. As morning comes, you open your doors to the sounds of a full tavern below you. As you head down in the morning, unless there's anything you want to do before going down for breakfast.
I don't know the laws of undead in the city, so I'm not bringing anybody up. Did I cast Flock of Familiars late enough to where it counts as the next day?
It more so works with your sleep schedule.
Okay, cool. I'll cast that and then dismiss the scary one.
Okay.
I'll let you decide which one's that is.
You see every person eating the same meal, with spoons scraping bowls as they slurp down a breakfast stew and some tankard of ale, juice, or milk. You don't see a single tankard of water. It looks as if most people are finishing up. Perhaps it is an early to rise, early to bed type of town, or there's something else they intend to get to soon. It's hard to tell. But if you want breakfast, it's a stew of potatoes, eggs, and sausage in a browned gravy served with a hard biscuit.
Sounds good.
It is very oversalted and greasy.
It is, if you are eating it, it is 3 copper.
Yeah, I will pay for that.
Sure, I'll have some of that.
Harold is a little disappointed in the flavor, but you know, hey.
No, my food, Harold's food, and Faith's food tastes amazing.
I can make breakfast if you don't want to stew.
Oh, well, why come to a tavern if you don't taste its food?
Okay.
Hey, I just happened to notice while I was looking around, nobody's drinking water here.
I was going to ask the bartender about that.
Yeah, the water's
really uncomfortable.
Well, the water's bad in the rooms. Nobody's drinking water. If we have some time to kill, maybe we could take a look at their water supply and see if we can cleanse it.
Well, let me go find out why. I'll go up to the bartender.
Right, you see Glynis just There's a big pot of stew behind. There's just like cranking out bowls and it's kind of set up like a soup kitchen. Everybody kind of goes up to the bar. She serves them, takes their coin, and continues on.
Yeah.
Instead of going out and taking everybody's order.
Right.
Seems like there's only one thing to eat. But how can Lady Luck help you tonight?
I
did not sleep well last night.
Oh, sorry about that. We're night owls. Why isn't anybody using or drinking water here?
Rivers run foul. It's being blamed on some shipment coming down from the forest contaminating it. At least that's what I've heard. If you need anything, just let me know.
Okay.
Sorry if the water's not to your liking.
Oh no, I was just curious.
Just so you know, there is water restrictions because of it.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Only sanctioned water and anything like that, anything that is not sanctioned or seen as an excess could be seen as stealing water. Just want you to know you're from out of town.
Okay. That's very good to know. Thank you.
Orkira has followed up and is going to poke her head around and say,
So it's a temporary thing. It's not like all the time.
It's been maybe a month.
Oh.
10 day. I don't. Sometime. Time gets weird here. It's same day, same
What?
shit, same day here. The tavern.
What kind of tainting is it? Is it toxic or is it
Unsure. It just fouled the water. There's a
Got it.
slight smell to it and kind of can upset you if you drink it.
Got it. Okay.
as we're walking back to the table, I'll say under my breath,
I guess I'm keeping great food and water, mostly for the water.
Yeah.
And she says, the best water we have is from the cisterns. And thankfully it rained a little bit, so hopefully we'll have a little fresh water. But again, it's very rationed. The rivers are typical source, but some things run foul.
Got
And
it.
Station Orkira, as you're making your way back to the table, you notice a few curious eyes on all of you. From your passive insight, it doesn't feel nefarious or resentful, more so intrigued and amused. And Seisha and Orkira, you pick up a few conversations throughout the small crowd of 10 or 20 people. Vinley, you catch every other word or so based on...
I'm not paying attention to these people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ew, in people.
Bar people.
yeah.
Bar people.
Do I notice anything out of the ordinary, considering I'm used to people being like, oh, look at that strange creature over there?
How long do you listen?
I think Orkira is unable to stop listening.
Okay.
She there's a reason observant is the feat she took. She is
Yeah.
unable to stop being attentive to her surroundings. So yeah.
Looks like we have some new visitors.
Ragtag group dressed like that? Must be adventurers or mercenaries.
Hopefully they fare better than the last group.
Yet they did not fare well against those gnolls, did they?
Yes, but luckily the Duchess Guard took care of them after they fell.
My monthly patrol starts at the end of this 10-day.
Oh, I just did mine 2 days ago. Thankfully boring.
Last year was bad when the farm burned down and when that fire salamander came through, portal and raised everything.
I know what you mean. My cousin's crops froze the other day.
Froze? It's summer.
Yeah, ice methods.
I lost 3 sheep in the spring to a nest of giant frogs.
Good thing we can hold our own now and live under the protection of the town's guard.
There may become a day adventurers stop coming to this once cursed town.
The past few years have been immeasurably better, thanks to the Duchess.
Oh, speaking of which, we should hurry if we want to make it to the trial.
Right. It feels good to be heard.
A toast.
You see the 2 men raise their tankard and toast towards the pillar at the center of the room, covered in the accoutrement of those that died defending Daggerford.
To those that have fallen before us.
And you see a few others around them that heard the words also raise their tankard in the same manner and drink. And with that, the 2 men and a few others start getting up and filtering out into the streets. What are you all doing?
I'm gonna look over at Harold and say,
How soon did we want to go talk to the constabulatory here?
I don't know. Soon. I guess we can whenever we're all splitting up, and I'm going to toast the pole in the middle with the accoutrement and take a sip.
We can get started immediately.
Was there anything we wanted to find out about a trial that's happening?
A trial.
Trial,
Yeah, they mentioned something about a trial at the table over there.
if you want.
Who was
It might be a good look into whether Xanathar or something's going on, I say as I look to Voss.
Anything all of you feel is a good lead to follow up on. I'm not going to micromanage your business here.
I mean, first things first, we have to go to the orphanage.
They said something about a duchess and how it felt good to finally be heard.
Yeah.
Let's go talk to him. Let's not talk to him. Let's go see it. Well, do that first, and then we'll split up.
Are we all
And-
going to the orphanage, or was it?
I'm at the trial. I'm at the trial.
Oh,
You all can go to the trial. Voss and I, or Bill and I, can go to the orphanage.
That suits me.
They do
Okay.
have a standing meet up there.
but well, before we go off to this,
a bunch of places, and Orkira will get back up and go over to the. I've got her name. I wrote it down. I have it. Glennis. And like hand back her bowl and
thanks for the stew and for the information about the water and everything. We're probably gonna be staying here, I think, a couple of days, and I can create water. So if you run out, can you let me know, and I can help with that? I can't create a lot, like for everybody, but if you're gonna be in trouble, I can do that.
I'll get it sanctioned.
Okay, yeah, I figured that might be a thing.
Kira's about to make a bunch of money.
or
A lot of friends.
Yeah. So when we come back later today, just let me know because I can do a couple of those. I can do
let me pull back up.
It also creates a bunch of food, but your stew is way better than the food that I can make. But I can make clean water.
You are
I
too
can,
kind.
I can make 30 gallons of it. So, just so you can have a little bit extra. We're heading out to go take care of a bunch of stuff, and I overheard some people talking about a trial. What's that all about?
Oh yes. Ever since Duchess Morwyn, brother, terrible name. Morwyn took over. She gave the people a voice, and anytime there's a trial or someone to be tried, I guess, for their crimes, the citizens get a voice. It's not just her or the council of guilds that make the decision. We vote.
Okay.
Like,
And is it the kind of thing that just anyone goes to, or you go to because you know somebody?
No, everyone's welcome, including temporary citizens. Your voice and vote matters.
Okay, that's good to know. I just heard people talking about it. I wasn't sure if there was some big to do or if it was something else.
If I wasn't running this, I would, have my voice heard. But I trust the citizens.
Okay. All right. Well, when we're back later, if you need me to make that water, let me know.
Don't do anything until I get it approved. I don't want people thinking I'm stealing water.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
and I'll wander back over and tell everybody all of that.
Like a jury?
Well, it seems more of whoever's there can vote.
So like okay.
It might be worth checking out, but it didn't seem like it was any, like when they were talking about a trial, I thought like something big, but it sounds like that's just normal day to day. So I don't know if it's something we need to go
It
check
may be pertinent to what we think. I have no desire to go there first, but I won't stop anyone else if they want to
What
go.
part of the city is it in?
You
Does
probably have
anybody
to
know?
ask somebody.
Go back up to the bar. What part of the city is the trial in?
It's in the it used to be the courtyard. Now it's the drill field for the guard. It's in the south side of town.
Okay.
It's just an open field.
Well, if they're gonna have a whole bunch of people from the town just show up, and you
Guess
know,
so.
then you need to have a lot of
Yeah.
room.
What's the weather like outside? Because it was thunderstorming last night, so
It is no longer raining, but there's not a whole lot of light filtering in through the windows.
Okay.
Did you guys all make your way out?
Yeah. I'm gonna head to the trial.
I think Voss and Vinley are heading towards the orphanage.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Station will go with me.
Yeah. So as you all exit the old warehouse turned tavern into the pale lit streets of the open market, there is no real sun silhouetting the Ducal Palace set atop the hill to the east. The entire sky is covered in cooling gray clouds, causing a harsh overcast. It is a thankful break for most of you after 3 days under the beating Elysian sun. But you see small cart kiosks fill the open market courtyard, selling many odds and ends like wicker basketry, untooled leather, and small quick repair stations. However, most is produce from the local farms of wheat, vegetables, grains, herbs, and more.
You do notice a lot of the produce carts are fairly empty, and a lot of the food looks to be on the verge of spoiling. However, what catches your attention the most is the sizable crowd washing through the streets towards the south side of town. They all seem to be headed in the same direction with purpose. And you are going to split with Vinley and Voss heading north up the Duke's Way, straight towards the Ducal Palace from where you are.
Before they split off, Orkira will ask Harold, do you want to go with them and check out this trial first?
Yeah, let's check out the trial.
So we'll go with them first and then split off later.
Okay, so we will follow the 4 that go to the trial first.
Yep. You follow the mass of people to find yourself in a sea of gathered people in a fully open courtyard. You know that this probably to be what was the drill field that they were talking about. But what is unique and why so many have gathered this morning is the large wooden gallows towering just over the heads of the crowd. 4 guardsmen stand at attention in splint mail armor with tabards emblazoned with the heraldry of Daggerford. A red dagger pointed down at an angle on a field of white circle, with the lower half being filled with a wavy blue depicting a river all edged in black. In the front row of the crowd, you see a line of masked and robed figures that look very similar to the masked Lords of Waterdeep. However, you can tell that they are all different heights, sizes, and shapes.
We're going to send you a picture in Zoom chat. Show you what.
Can-
And for all of those watching, if you want to see all of this amazing art and pictures that we often show our cast secretly, you can join our Discord, and we post everything after that after the game the following day.
Can I have done one thing before we get into this open field? Like just before we get it up there?
Yeah. So like as you're approaching, you see this crowd of people and everything. You're not fully involved yet. So
Yeah. So,
what did you want to do?
Just before we get there, when I have a chance to take a second and cast a spell without too many people looking at me, I'll kind of elbow Harold and say,
I'm gonna just keep an eye out for what we're looking for, okay?
No worries.
and I will cast Locate Object. And I am concentrating on Harrow Dust, but not any specific bag. I'm just concentrating on Harrow Dust. It's for up to 10 minutes and it's within 1,000 feet of me.
Okay, you get a ping to the north, back where you came from.
Okay. I'm not going to do anything about it, and unless I absolutely have to, I don't think Orkira is going to like point anything out or mention anything, but the way she's figuring it, this is a place with a lot of people, and if anyone's carrying it on them, there might be a good chance she will get a ping. So
there is another ping that's not very strong.
Okay.
And that is coming from the center of this town square.
Where the masked robed people are?
So there's the gallows, the masked and robed people are, surrounding it at the civilian level. There's the guards there on the top, but like right in the center, near the back, stands a disheveled man wearing traveler's clothes that seem to be soaked and stained with mud and sun bleaching. His hands and feet are bound in hemp rope similar to the noose that hangs behind him. But what stands out the most is the vibrant blue beard he has.
Mm.
And Orkira, Seisha, and you notice that it's not hair but feathers that cover his face. Walking up the steps of the gallows is a powerfully striking brunette woman wearing regal yet obviously worn plate armor and chainmail under a suede leather tabard of reds and blacks with a gold trim. With her presence, the crowd instantly begins to applaud and cheer.
Where would you all like to be? And we're going to send you another picture.
No, I'd send that.
She's so pretty. That's
Yeah.
not fair.
I want to move closer to the front.
Oh,
She's
If-
hot.
she is hot.
I
I
want
wanna-
that hair.
I just want to get a better look
I
at
wish Micah would do
the
that.
guy who's tied up. Trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Like, I don't. Mm.
I will follow wherever Harold goes.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to
slightly
get
behind.
as close to the front as I can.
Yeah, I want to try to get to the front, but not like actually get in front of anybody because I'm too tall. So kind of stand off to the side.
Okay.
It's fairly large, open, but there's a lot of people here as well. You can get fairly close to the front, but unless you literally like push, like kind of wiggle in between people and kind of move them out of the way,
Mhm.
It's like being-
intentionally.
It's like being at a concert. The closer you get
Yeah.
to the actual
Yeah.
stage, the denser it is
Yeah.
with people. But there's about a 5 to 10 foot ring open around this stage area. And the woman, citizens and acting citizens of Daggerford, I bid you good morning and ask, how are you feeling this day?
The crowd cheers in response. It's almost infectious in the way you feel their genuine adoration for her.
Good, I'm glad. It warms my heart to hear that. But sadly, I must ask you something that may weigh heavy upon those hearts. But it is your voice, your vote that empowers you and the fate of Daggerford.
The crowd once again cheers. You get the feeling that they feel heard. They feel like their voice matters and the city isn't just run by the masks and the robes.
Before you stands a man who has defiled this city and broken its laws. He has endangered your lives recklessly and has used magic against you. Worst of all, he has brought the substance known as Herodust into our walls. Now it is your turn to decide his fate. Please weigh your decision carefully, but keep in mind his transgressions. His sentence lies in your hands, between exile or death.
The crowd begins to murmur amongst themselves.
What are you all doing?
Listening to the crowd.
I'm trying to determine how it works.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the voting system is.
And listening to the crowd, Seisha and Orkira, you hear that there's people arguing over what the benefits of exile or death would be. It does not seem very strong either way. And a couple of people are arguing, but if we let him out of the city, he's just going to take Herodust somewhere else. And then someone's like, yes, but everyone needs, redemption and things like that.
I'll step up to the crowd of people talking, and I'm going to say something.
Okay.
I'm going to say, I am only a temporary citizen here. I'm recently here, but from where I come from, Herodust has been an issue for months now, and we've seen many different forms of it showing up in our streets. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that capital punishment doesn't fix the problem. Sure, it may make people scared in the streets and make them more afraid of doing it, but I think that the better option here is, if we have to exile him, then exile him.
because with him goes one more person using it, which is one less way for people to get a handle on it. I don't think there's any reason to kill the guy. We don't know the circumstances of how he came into it. It maybe somebody slipped it in his drink. We don't know what's going on. And Herodus is used a lot of very awful ways where I come from. In my personal opinion, I think it's better to just, if we have to do one or the other, then exile is definitely the more humane option here.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
Oh, I thought about lying, but I thought, no, I don't think Harold would here. 21.
Okay. All right.
Noted. And listening to the crowd, does anybody else try and talk to the crowd? I will let you know this. You pick up from the crowd that a deliberation period is allowed, and for about a minute, and then it is called upon. Basically, a vote by voice, and one will be exile, and then people will scream out, and then and then death will be offered, and people will scream out, and it's basically whichever has the overpowering feel. But it is.
Did he use Harrow Dust, or was he distributing Harrow Dust?
If you ask the crowd, they do not know. But they let you know. It doesn't matter. They brought Harrow Dust in here, and it's. I mean, look at his face. He obviously used it. Who has a blue feathered beard?
No, I agree that he's probably used it. I'm just using it is one thing. Distributing it, I think, carries a higher consequence. If he's using it, I would rather not have his death on my hands. It's a heavy thing to take a life, even as part of a crowd. You make that decision to end that person. Seems to me exile makes more sense in this case.
Go ahead
Also,
and.
Oh.
I was going to say, go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
12.
Okay.
I swear the dice hate me tonight.
Too bad no one's sneaky enough to cast silence on a majority of the crowd.
I know.
But all of a sudden, as soon as Seisha finishes talking, you start to see people become disturbed in the crowd as pockets of people start yelling, "He's in my head! He's in my head!"
And it happens one by one until you see his eyes focus on a few of you, and one of you sticks out more than the other.
Hey.
B, you hear in your head,
Save my life. I'll explain myself. I'll explain what I was running from. Save me, please.
Okay, interesting that this is happening because I was just about to ask if he's allowed to speak for himself.
And with that, that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
The other thing was Orkira was about to say, if you kill him, we're not going to find out any more information. But if we keep him alive, then we can find out more. And yeah.
I will reiterate that the vote has not happened yet.
Yep.
You just got some information, maybe some things to push you in a different way. There was one success and one failure in persuading the crowd that will affect things later on when we make those rolls.
Thank God we're not there.
Also, oh my God, there's one person that sticks out and they went for V. That's the first time in Orkira's life she has ever been the one that hasn't stuck out.
That's
What's
all
up?
enough.
You're not tall. You're not as tall as me.
No, but I'm.
Yeah.
I know you're golden, have wings. Yeah.
She's also up near the front. I don't remember where you were.
I have
Nope,
this
it's
big
awesome.
fancy hat, you know. No.
V is just stylish. That's all.
Anyways,
stylish.
for those that may be tuning in late or have not entered for whatever reason, please enter #Eldritch or #Beyond into the Rock Punch ATL's chat. Make sure to enter only once, please, so that we don't have to fix anything. Because we're gonna poll in like 30 seconds. And tonight was a doozy. There was a lot of info dropped. There are reasons for everything. We didn't just put a peep fiend on you. It's good stuff.
This is, oh God, Rhea, for a second, I forgot you were wearing a tan skirt.
Oh, yeah.
I just caught it out of the corner of my eye and I was like, no pants!
Thank you to anybody that might be a new viewer. Hope you continue to join us.
I'm so glad you all got to see me cry tonight. You're welcome.
Yeah, you made me
God,
cry.
that moment between Harold and Vinley is
It is rare to make Rhea cry.
What started the waterworks was when Ethan looked, who was it? Was it V? Yeah, it was V, dead in the eye and said, I will not manipulate Vinley.
Yeah.
I literally had to go off camera because of that.
Yeah, it was good.
It was, yeah.
I love you guys.
We love you. This is such a great group. I love this group.
Well,
Yeah,
this is
the
where-
role play is insane in this group.
Yeah, you got to trust your DMs and the people you're around not to. Like, when the pit fiend came out, I didn't think that was just them putting a pit fiend in the game. I knew there was something going on there.
Yeah. Everything you guys do, I expect, is leading to something. Like, I don't believe in coincidence in this game.
Yeah.
And if you're a viewer and you think that any of this has been a coincidence, listen. That Harrow dust that I dumped down the toilet's gonna come back in 2 years. Watch. 2 years. Mark it today. In real life, 2 years.
All right, we have winners. Winner of the Players Bundle from D&D Beyond is Kiwi's Nip 3R.
Okay, and the winner of the Eldritch Foundry miniature is Obsidian Risk.
Nice.
That is a cool name.
That is a good name.
So congrats to both of you. I will be in touch via Twitch Whispers. So be on the lookout for my messages tomorrow.
Be excellent to each other.
Is it Kiwi Sniper?
Oh,
might be Kiwi Sniper.
Oh, I bet it is Kiwi Sniper. That's good. Yep. That's a whole lot better than Kiwi Nip 3R.
There you go.
I am known to butcher names, and it won't be the last. But may you always roll with advantage. Good night, everybody.